as an investment, and those finding ways to make the most of their employment abroad in order to secure a bright and comfortable future for themselves and their children. And of course, property developers in the Philippines helping to address this need. It is encouraging to see that such an event being held here in Dubai. Any event that seeks to help overseas Filipinos to make well-informed decisions about buying property or investing is certainly a good thing. Property developers have enormous responsibility towards people, particularly overseas Filipinos. And it is heartening to see that responsible marketing is now a key pillar in their business. Congratulations to New Perspective Media for organizing this event, and to the kabayans attending or participating in today's sessions. Make the most of your time here, and I hope today's sessions would help you make the right decision that is most advantageous to you and your family. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you so much, Conjan Dueñas, for welcoming everyone and
Happy
highlighting the
FD.
value of holding events like PPIE.
And before we start this session this morning, we are inviting everyone to visit the booth of New Perspective Marketing International to get to know more about the newest value for money real estate marketplace, remata.com.ph, and learn about the latest mobile app, Piso Pal, a personal savings and investment app specifically made for beginners in investment. We also have limited I Love the Filipino Times car stickers at the Filipino Times booth near the registration area. And now, to begin with our series of educational talks today, we will begin by boosting your confidence. We've invited a seasoned motivational speaker. Top 12 habits of highly successful OFWs. You might have seen him in various TV commercials and social media and community events. Yes, he is indeed considered as a celebrity in the community.
To give us the tips to overcome fear of speech and anxiety, let us give a warm applause to Rico Mondejar.
Thank you. Can we give Vince and Rain a round of applause, please? I'd like to feel the energy this morning. Good morning. Come on, you can do better than that. Good morning. That's the energy that I'd like to feel. It feels good to be back. I just realized today that this is my third time to be part of PPIE. Looks like I'm part of the New Perspective Media family already. So can we give New Perspective and TFT a round of applause for organizing an event? By the way, we are live on PPIE Facebook page and TFT. This is the beauty of the technology, right? Kasi yung mga Pinoy, pag may hangover, those who cannot come here and join us, pwedeng manood. This is the technology that we have. So, we'd like to greet those who are watching us live. Huwag po kayong aalis kung gusto niyong matuto. When Vince told me about the topic, sabi ko, maganda yan. Because here in the United Arab Emirates, there are more modalities, right? Ang dami natin. We're working in a multicultural environment, and we need to prove our worth para tayo ang matanggap. It's not enough to blend. We need to stand out. Kaya sabi ko, yan ang magandang topic, no? Because if you stand out, people will pay you in three ways. First, people will pay you the respect. Second, people will pay you their attention. And third, people will pay you money because they want to do business with you, right? So it's good to stand out, really, right? So later on, I'll give 15 copies of my book here today. So, ang andito lang ha, yung sa likod hindi pwede. This is for free. My topic, overcoming speech anxiety. Meron din tayo sa likod, merong SK. Yung part of the SQ bracket of the population, sobra 40. Oo, meron din ako nakita na I'm part of this. Yung tinatawag na ES category. Ano yung ES category? Endangered species. Yung mga senior citizens ba, di ba? Oh, but you know, learning is fun. No? There's no segregation of age when it comes to learning. So I'd like to share with you, who among you here are scared with dogs? Yung takot sa aso, sino? Wala? O mayroong isa? So, I'd like to welcome Jay over here. Okay, the new, no more a bachelor, okay? He's happily married. I'd like to acknowledge one of the finest social media influencers here. Jay, let's give him a round of applause, please. They will have their time at 10 o'clock. Oh, right after I'll do my job, okay? So, if you are scared with dogs, you are suffering from cynophobia. Are you familiar with Dubai frame, the biggest frame in the world? Can you stand on top of that? You can't. You have acrophobia, right? Now, are you familiar with, wait a minute, I can see people here who are scared to die. Nobody, right? I mean, we are scared to die. We want to live because life is beautiful, right? So that means that you're having thanatophobia, fear of death. Now, who are afraid of their mother-in-law phobia? Folks, if you think that fear of death is the biggest fear in the world, you are wrong. This is, according to survey, public speaking is the number one fear of humankind. 75% followed by death, 68, failure, spiders, disease, darkness, and heights. And we have fear of flying as well. So if you have fear of public speaking, you belong to that 75%. So you don't have to worry about it, right? So this is the problem. Glossophobia, fear of public speaking. Some call it fear of the tongue. Stage fright, performance anxiety. You name it, you can call it speech anxiety. Now, what are the symptoms? Ano bang nafe-feel natin pag meron tayong glossophobia? Ito, ang mga sintomas pag meron. Oh, dry mouth, di ba? Minsan wala nang laway lalabas, di ba? Nanginginig ka. Nausea, yun bang you're not feeling good, tapos parang nasusuka ka. Sweating, increase of blood pressure, shortness of breath, increase of heart rate. Hindi lang yung sa ligawan nagkaroon yung babago yung heart rate natin. Cold hands and shaky. Kaya nga, yung ibang speaker, lalo na pag nakahawak ng papel, mahalata mo, di ba? Kaya, paano natin malabanan yan? No? Huwag kayong mag-alala because even great personalities are having a problem. Ito, kilalang kilala yan. Nung dumating sa States si Arnold Schwarzenegger, nahihirapan niya magsalita. Ilan lang yung English words na alam niya eh. Because he wants to carve a name in bodybuilding. Kaya yan, nagsusumikap siya. Now a governor in California. Thomas Jefferson, kilalang kilala. Third President of the U.S. 8 years. Pero sa kanyang 8 years, what he did, nag-attend ng Dale Carnegie School. So yun, he solved transforming weaknesses into strength. Tiger Woods, sikat na, if you are into golf, you know him. His name rings a bell. Alam ba yung ginagawa niya? Na nagpa-practice ng speech sa harap ng aso. Hanggang makatulog na lang yung aso at siya makatulog na rin. So, it's normal. Pagtawanan ako ng crowd, no? Baka magkakamali ako. Discomfort of the body language. Mamaya, we will tackle that issue. Kasi may mga negative body language tayong dapat iwasan eh. No? Fear of failure. Hindi ka sanay sa mga malalaking tao. You know, there's a good exercise to that which we'll discuss later on. And lack of opportunity to speak in front of a crowd. So kung mayroon mang mag-invite sa'yo, even birthday parties, grab it. Diba? Ito na yung pagkakataon na magpapasikat ka. It's time for you to shine. Kaya, ito, how do we overcome stage fright? Una talaga, if you are given the opportunity to speak, you have to really make a research. Master your topic. Kahit baliktarin ka. Di ba? If you know the subject matter, nako, wala. You will enjoy. Practice, practice, practice. Practice will not make perfect. No, perfection. You cannot reach perfection by practicing, but there's one reality. It makes improvement. Right? So practice, practice, practice. Apply relaxation and breathing exercise. Ayaw mo, pagkabado ka, yung iba kasi natatakot, no? Alam niyo yung breathing exercise, you inhale to the nose and breathe through your mouth. Tsaka yung ibang mali para malalaman mo na you're breathing the right way, humiga ka, maglagay ka ng libro sa tiyan mo. No, when you inhale, tapos lulubo yung tiyan mo, and exhale, tapos bababa, that's the right way to do it. Now, be excited. Visualize na you will succeed in delivering the talk. No, para lalong kang ganado. But visualize also that you will make a mistake. But you know what to do just in case Murphy's Law will attack you on that particular moment. Yung Murphy's Law, if things can go wrong, it will. Pero dapat ready ka, no? Keep your mistake by yourself. Alam mo nang mali ka huwag mong sabihin sa audience mo na nagkakamali ka. Hindi naman nila alam Di ba? Just relax and smile. Katulad ni Neil, di ba? Kung nagde-deliver yan, nakasmile lang yan. Kaya maraming fans sa Abu Dhabi. No? Arrive early to make friends. Kaya nga, ako, I always make it a habit to arrive at least 1 hour. Kasi alam mo yung di ba? Pag mayroong kang kakampi, hindi kami hiya. If you know somebody there in the crowd, titingin-tingin ka, no? You will never feel nervous. By the way, right after my talk, yung mga sikat na social media influencers will teach you the ABC of blogging. So ano pa bang dapat nating malaman? Ito yung mga fears in public speaking. Fear na nga pero merong ibang mga sub-fears. Ito, the fear of failing. Lalo na yung kabado tayo, self-doubt. Bakit ka nag-self-doubt? Because you never master your peace. Di ba? Kung nada-doubt ka, if you don't have confidence in yourself, who do you think will believe you? Yun ang problema We have to really master the peace. The fear of forgetting the content. Ito ang problema pag memorize mo. Di ba? Memorize mo nga Biglang pumasok class mo. Wala. Divided yung attention mo. But if you just understand yung topic mo, mayroong bullet points No? You don't have to memorize word per word. Mahirap yun. You understand everything, no? I-divide mo lang yon into special segment para you will never fail. Yun ang pinaka-importante. The fear of top audience. Hindi ka naman matatakot kung hindi ka kabado. Di ba? Pagkabado ka, mahalata ng audience yan. Sila mismo, they will challenge you. But if you know what you are talking about, supporters mo na yung crowd mo, di ba? And you will enjoy your presentation. Fear of time. We should be very observant. Kasi lalo niya nito, you're not the only one speaking, right? So make sure that you are timing your presentation para walang overlapping at the end. We need to respect the time of other speakers as well. Fear of the technology. Ang dami ngayong mga gamit na dapat pag-aralan natin. We need to update ourselves with the technology para we will be competitive. Okay? If you still remember back in high school, di ba? Tatawagin ka. No. To the extent na magpa-sakit-sakit ka the next morning. Kasi presentation. It happened to me in the past, di ba? Oo, nagkukunwari. Kasi takot talaga ako. I was shy during my high school days. At, Bisaya kasi ako No? I'd like to share with you my story. I was born and raised in the province. Harap ng bahay namin, dagat. Likod, ilog. Yung mother ko, school principal. Pero yung usapan namin sa bahay, Bisaya. Yung mga kalaro ko, Bisaya. Di ba? So, nag-high school ako doon sa lungsod. Ganoon din eh. Bisaya. No? Nag-i-English ka lang kung sasagot ka sa teacher mo. Kaya I can still remember, during the presentation na haharap ka, nag-absent talaga ako ng 2 days. Oh. So, I never grabbed that opportunity. And that should be a learning experience for all of us. We need to grab its opportunity. Paano na-change yung kwan ko? Yung buhay ko, no, with this, that I can talk in front of you? Yung mga classmate ko kasi sa college, sa high school, mga babae, no? Nagdadala ng transistor radios. Nakikinig ng disc jockey. No? In Butuan City. So, paslang-slang pa yung 6:25 in the morning, would like to say, tapos believe sila ba? Yung mga kanta nun, mga Too Much Heaven, Bee Gees, Billy Joel, Just the Way You Are. No? Sabi ko, ganito pala ang disc jockey, ang daming babae. No? So, yun ang natanim sa isip ko eh. No? Graduation, dumating ako sa Cebu. Sabi ko, I should be a DJ. No? So, merong radio station doon na merong baguhan, nagkakamali. So, pwede para magkamali. So, nag-apply talaga ako. When I applied, sabi ng manager, walang bakante. The next week, I came back. Sabi niya, di ba, andito ka nung last week? Sabi ko, walang bakante. No? So, you know what I did? Kinaibigan ko yung DJ doon. Tapos inutusan niya ako, bili-bili ng tinapay. No? Bili ng tinapay. Pagbarala siyang pera, sabi niya, ikaw muna, bili ka ng burger. Tapos unti-unti tinuruan niya ako kung paano mag-operate. Turntable pa dati. Turntable. No? So, pagkakain siya, ako muna mag-spin, tapos siya mag-adlib. No? So, kabisado ko na yung operating the turntables. At saka yung mga music, alam ko na. No? Because if you are passionate on the thing that you would like to do, gagawin mo, you'll do everything. Isang beses, lasing yung disc jockey. Oo. Tapos may amateur hour ba na, may mga live announcement doon. Now, this program is brought to you by Tide Super. Tapos sabi ng technician na rattle, Sir, meron pala tayong sponsorship. Yung time na yon Super Wheel, na merong live. Wala, sir, si Kuan. Lasing. Sinong andyan? Yung taga-TV. Because that was Maharlika Broadcasting System TV. So, sir, busy sila. Wala, dapat, para hindi i-cancel, you have to do your thing. No? So, meron kaibigan si Rico. Siya, may alam ba yan? Subukan lang natin, sir. Hindi niya alam na yung lahat na riders doon, minimorize ko talaga, pinapractice ko. No? So, noong narinig ako, this program is brought to you by. Sabi niya, uy, pwede. The next day, binigyan ako ng 3 hours na program. And that started my radio career. After 1 week, narinig ako ng GMA 7 Cebu. They offered me to transfer. No? So, I was lucky. Yung boses ko ang liit dati. Oo. Sabi nila, alam mo yung boses mo, para kang hindi naman alam, babae ba o lalaki? So sabi ng, my idol during that time, yung manager namin na Philam, ang galing mag-English. No? Sabi niya, saan ka ba nakatira, Rico? So ako, naka-boarding house ako. Gumising ka 3 o'clock in the morning. No? Oo, 3 o'clock. Hingi lang ako ng tubig. Oo. Sabi na, gumising ka ng 3 o'clock. Magbabasa ka ng newspaper. Page 1 until page 31. Imagine page 1 to page 31. Tapos, sabi niya, you need to project your voice like a newscaster. Yun ang sabi niya. So that means na page 1, good morning, here now is the 10 o'clock news brought to you by Firestone on the national scene. Page 1 to 31, gagawin mo yun every day. Sa CR, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I did it! After 1 year, nag-iiba ang boses ko. No? Nag-iiba. It improved a lot. Ngayon, problema ko, ito namang, kasi Bisaya di ba? Yung choice of words, nahihirapan. Sabi ng kasama ko, Hoy, Rico, yung adlib mo, pabalik-balik. Sabi ko, so what I did, because I'd like to learn, I'd like to prove that I can do it. Nag-attend ako ng, may scholarship kasi ako May allowance ako sa scholarship, and allowance from my mother. Nag-attend ako ng mga workshop. Conversational English to lahat. Libre, bumili ako ng libro na Minimorize ko. Alam mo yung synonyms and antonyms na pink ang color? Yung nire-review ng NCEE dati? I memorize it. No? So, bumili din ako ng idioms na mga libro. Every day, sinusulat ko, I have to make sure that I'll have 5 new idioms per day that I can deliver. And that started it all. No? Kaya, it's just a matter of having self-mastery. No? Ano ba talaga ang dapat nating gagawin? So, with my story, I'm sure you can do that as well. No? So, let's continue. Ito. Natakot at ako. Pag marketing, kung sales and marketing may 5 P's, no? Price, promotion, people, and place of distribution. Mayroong 5 P's in public speaking. Planning. Dapat planuhin mo kung ano yung topic na pag-uusapan mo. Make a research, and you have to make sure that you can deliver and share insights to your target market, no? At dapat i-master niyo. Preparation. Hindi pwede yung papitex-pitex tayo. You need to respect the time of your audience as well. Isipin natin, is it worth their time listening? Yun talaga ang dapat isipin natin. And people, know your target market. Ano ba yung dapat malaman nila? You need to know their needs. Kung meron kang training needs analysis sa human resource, dapat gagawin mo yan so that you can deliver what people expect you to deliver. And the final performance, nako, ito yung madugo kasi sa final performance, meron pang sub-piece, pace, di ba? Oh, alanganin naman na November 1, tapos throw your hands in the air. Wala yan. Oh, pitch, high or low. You have to make sure na yung audience mo, kung matatanda, tapos high pitch ka, nako, eritan sa kanila yon. So you have to be very observant on your audience as well. Poise. O di ba? Pasmile-smile ka. Huwag mo ipalata na kabado ka. At pause. Especially when you want to stress a point. Pause. There's nothing wrong with pausing. Right? So yan ang dapat, no? We need to remember that. Ito yung common mistakes in public speaking. Lack of preparation. Yung iba kasi merong MBSS, masyadong believe sa sarili. Kaya pumapalpak, no? Pag nandoon na sa audience, we need to prepare. Give justice to the presence of the people listening to you. Again, we are live on PPIE and the Filipino Times Facebook page. Magandang araw po! Sana may natutunan kayo, ha? Overuse of filler words. Iwasan natin yung bakit nangyayari yan? Kasi meron kang hindi sigurado, meron kang nakakalimutan. Yeah? Makaka-relate? Ito, distracting mannerism. Yung iba kasi hawak ng susi, tapos pagkamot-kamot, no? You need to be aware of the negative body language. Low energy in presenting. Okay lang kung nagde-deliver ka ng eulogy. Di ba? Siyempre naman, sisigaw ka, eulogy yung i-deliver mo. Di ba? Misuse of visual aids and not monitoring time. Yun ang karamihang pagkakamali. Now, how to be better? Ito yung solusyon. Watch the videos of professional speaker. Ang dami sa YouTube. Anthony Robbins, Les Brown, lahat. No? Yun lang ang kailangan natin. Watch English shows. Huwag na tayong manood ng Tagalog. Huwag na tayong manood ng Bisaya. Alam na natin yun eh. Master na natin yun. No? Even newscast, panoorin natin. No? Because that is the opportunity to learn more. Ako nga, nanonood ako ng cartoons kasi ang dami mong matutunan eh. Don't you know na kasama ko sa elevator 3 months ago? No? Bata! Na-shock ako, ang fluent ng English. Sabi ko, ano yan? Kinder 2. Pero fluent siya. So, mas magaling pa sa akin mag-English ito ah. So ano nga na? Kasi sir, sa umaga nanonood na ng cartoons. Cartoons sa umaga, tulog cartoons. Fluency in the English language. Yan ang kagandahan. No? We need to, if you have children, you need to also do that. In case you're a father who are married here. Who are happily married. You are married and your husband is happy. Right? See? That's the beauty of it all. Kaya, dapat talaga, no? We need to practice tone and projection confidence. Ipakita natin na believe tayo sa sarili. Dahil kung hindi ka believe sa sarili mo, nobody else will. Right? Join clubs, Toastmaster. Maraming seminars dyan. No? Kaya, we need to grab every opportunity to how to sound smart. Ito yung pinakamagandang gawin natin. Diba? Sabi nga nila a picture paints 1,000 words. Pero mas maganda talaga pag sasabihin natin. No? Yun. Itong mali natin, mahilig tayo sa very. No? Tanggalin na natin yung very na yan. Very afraid, instead, fearful, petrified. Diba? Very angry, furious. No, tanggalin natin yung very na word. Ito, mas marami pang tanggaling very, oh. Tingnan natin. Oy, parang, yan, oh. Mga sample yan. Tanggalin natin. Instead of saying, very careful, be cautious, di ba? Instead of saying, I'm hungry, I'm starving. No, number one, uy, bright ito Ang laki ng pinag-aralan, pero memorize lang pala synonyms and antonyms. No, hindi naman nila malalaman yan No? At marami tayong dapat gawin, no? If we want to sound competitive, especially, ang dami nating mga kalaban na ibang lahi, di ba? Ipakita natin na mas magaling tayong mga Pinoy. Di ba? Ito. Normal ito, ha? Sa Facebook, makikita mo, congrats, pabalik-balik. Di ba? Maraming guilty. Dapat iba-iba, no? Instead of saying just, congrats, way to go, great job, di ba? Ang dami, you rock. Ang daming paraan para you will say congratulations. Ito, greetings, happy birthday. Makikita mo sa Facebook, happiest birthday, happy birthday. Ang dami naman. Tingnan nyo, ang dami. There are many ways of greeting. Somebody, birthdays, di ba? Dapat yun ang gagawin natin. Hindi yung, babalik-balik lang tayo, happiest birthday. Thank you. Thank you na lang tayo ng thank you. Salamat. Ang daming paraan to say thank you. Ang daming expression to express thank you. Can we do that? Di ba? Practice, research lang naman No, ito, different way to say thank you. Marami din. Hindi boring pakinggan. Pero kung may makarin si iba ito, Toastmaster siguro ito. No? Yun pala, nakikinig lang sa The Filipino Times at saka PPIA na lecture. Ayan. Di ba? Pati yung namatayan, di ba? Pabalik-balik. No? May deeper sympathy, may condolences. Ang dami namang pwedeng gawin. No? Kaya dapat mag-aral talaga tayo. Okay? Malapit na tayong matapos. Dali. Oy, parang ayaw ata umalis sa condolences. Ay, malayo pang November 1 Asking favor. Marami ding paraan. No? Eto. Tanongin ko, what's the best way to conquer stage fright? What do you think is the best way? Simple lang talaga ang sagot niyan. Ito, the best way to conquer stage fright is to know what you are talking about. Di ba? Kasi kung alam mo yan, babalik na rin ka, tatawa ka lang, di ba? Alam mo, kahit pahihirapan ka dyan, no, wala, hindi ka kabado. In fact, matutuwa ka pa, more questions. Questions, di ba? Pero pag hindi ka sanay, ako, sana magtatanong, sana. Bilisan mo pa. Tapos, thank you. Walang mangyayari. Now, ito lang yung fear of public speaking. We can counter that in two ways. You have two options. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours. Sa multi-level marketing, no, sabihin na, ay, hindi ako networker, no? Hindi ko kaya yan. Bago ka naging engineer, ano ka ba? Di ba? Nag-aral ka ng 4 years. Accountant, nag-aral ka ng 4 years. Tanggalin natin yung, hindi ko kaya yan. Have a growth mindset. Mag-aral tayo. Complacency. Alam mo, ito yung sakit natin Pag halimbawa, you succeeded in one thing, okay na. No? Tapos ka na ng training ng isang training, okay na. Nakatapos na ako ng baking. Di ba? Wala! Wala! From one step to a higher step. Huwag tayong maging kumpiyansa. Huwag kang maging complacent. Procrastination. Sakit natin ito. Oo. Tapos, gagawin mo pa yung Panginoon. Inshallah. Di ba? You have to do whatever it takes. Hindi yung pwede yung, I will try. Hindi pwede yung, if I have time. No? Dapat, I will do it whatever it takes. Dapat sana, tardiness, Filipino time, 1 hour. No, dapat ipakita natin na pag Filipino time, at least 20 minutes, ando na tayo. Di ba? At tayo mga Pilipino. Concert, late pa rin. Birthday, late pa rin. Ano ba yan? Negativity, lack of focus. Ito yung sakit natin eh. No? Makikita mo, mga Pinoy, multi-level marketing. Sumali na sa isa. Tapos pag may bagong darating, power! Oo, sali na naman. Sabi na, uy, conflict yan. Hindi, kasi iba yung product nila eh. Yung binintinda ko, paputi na sabon. Ito naman is, panglalaki ito, pangpa-strong. Oh, di ba? Wala eh. That would divide your time. Kaya nga, focus eh. Follow one course until successful. Yun dapat. No? Crab mentality. The Pinos, we should be happy. Uy, yan talaga pag Pinoy, di ba, successful. Hindi mo sabihin na, ay, yumaman lang yan kasi may jowang Pakistani. Di ba? Mayaman na yan. Oo, kasi may local na fafa. Dapat we should be proud. Hindi ba yung, don't be part of yung organization ng mga haters. Ano yung haters? H-A-T-E-R. Having envy towards everyone reaching success. Tanggalin natin yan. Pride! Ayokong sumali dyan, engineer ako eh. Ayokong magbuhat manager ako. No, tanggalin natin yan. Kaya nga, pride eh. Personal restraint inside defending ego. Yun ang meaning ko. So, yan. Thank you for being part of. Sana merong natutunan. Are we learning so far? Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank the Filipino Times and New Perspective Media. Pumunta pa ako ng Sarja eh. Mag-MC pa ako doon 12 for the Kabayan Fun Day. Rain, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rico Mondihar. And I'm sure our PPI attendees have gained more confidence when it comes to speaking after learning your tips. Ayan, palit tayo ng mic. Mas gusto ko nga ang mic na to. Correct. Okay. Alright. So, just a fun fun trivia lang po tayo. We'll do a quick Q&A. And meron din po tayong prizes. Again, I'll be giving away exciting prizes tulad ng mga TFT merch. Meron tayong mga t-shirts, eco bags, mugs. Meron din tayong gold na pinapamigay. Meron tayong small shorts, Sir Rico. Ayan. Do you want one? You got one, right? Always? Again, we have Rico Mondihar, the author of the 12 Habits of Highly Successful OFWs Unleashing the winner in you. A round of applause for Rico Mondihar, guys. Thank you so much for the book. Ayan. All right. So, while our very own Rico Mondihar here is signing, have TFT merch, t-shirts, eco bags, mugs. We also have golds. Meron din tayong Philippine Airlines round-trip ticket, Dubai, Manila, Dubai. So, abangan po natin yan later. It is also a game format for the Philippine Airline tickets. Ayan. So, I'll just keep the mechanics simple. First one to come on stage and give the correct answer wins a prize. Napakasimple lang about the presentation. And just for the first question, dito, raise hand lang po, lalapit ako sa inyo. What is the name of our speaker for speech anxiety? What is the name? Okay, here po, here sir. Let's look at the camera and what's the name of our speaker today?
Enrico Mondihar Cardoniga.
Buong pangalan, Sir Rico. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So, kung kayo ay nakinig kanina about his topic, what is fear of public speaking? Yan. What is fear of Oh, come here. Sige po. Okay, here. Sa front po, first one.
Glossophobia.
Glossophobia is correct. Ayan, glossophobia. All right, just another one different way to say congratulations. Here po, here sa front po.
Way to go.
All right, wonderful. Congratulations. Ay, ano pa? Great job, you rock. Ganon dapat. Okay, next is that. Give us one thing to give up for Filipinos to be competitive ayon kay Rico. Ano ba dapat ang kailangan na natin i-give up sa mga old ways natin para tayo maging competitive? Come here, lady.
Crab mentality.
Crab mentality is correct. Ayan. And just one last question. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng PPIE? Alright, fifth question. Dito po sa unahan, ano po bang ibig sabihin ng PPIE?
Philippine Property and Investment Exhibition.
Congratulations! Great job! Philippine Property and Investment Exhibition is correct. Ayan, guys. So, yes, I'm sure maraming natutunan, Sir Rico. And of course, we also have limited I Love the Filipino Times car stickers at the Filipino Times booth near the registration area lang din po. And of course, we would like to invite everyone to visit the booth of New Marketing International to get to know more about the newest value for money real estate marketplace, remata.com.ph, and learn about the latest mobile app, Piso Pal, a personal savings and investment app specifically made for beginners in investment. Ayan. And we would like to thank our gold sponsor, RLC Residences, our silver sponsors, Greenfield Development Corporation, Ayala Land, Double Dragon Corporation, and Federal Land. And of course, our participating exhibitors, Santa Lucia, Houseland Development Corporation, DMCI Homes, BPI, Remata, and Piso Pal. And of course, our official online partner, we have Philippine Airlines, and our official media partner, the Filipino Times. Okay, so moving on to our second session of today's Philippine Property and Investment Exhibition on our Facebook Live. We still have until 9 p.m. today to come here at Crowne Plaza, Sheikh Zayed. It's a free registration. Just come here, bring your families and friends for them to also have that or gain knowledge, and as well as check all our exhibitors and sponsors here today at PPIE. And that is why for our next educational talk, we've invited speakers who can help you answer the following question: paano ba ako mag-start mag-ipon? Ayan. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on stage our panelists, financial coach Adrian Tolentino, multi-awarded healthcare professional Dan Lester Dabon, food guide and blogger Miko Banwa, and food and lifestyle blogger M. Serrano, moderated by founder and chief executive officer or chief executive officer of New Perspective Media Group and editor-in-chief of the Filipino Times, Dr. Karen Rimo. Ayan na. All right. Okay, guys. So while we're completing the panelists, so we are inviting everyone again to yung mga meron po tayong registration as visitors. Meron tayong binigyan na tatlong papel because we are actually partnered with different Filipino schools, and with that we have outside the exhibition main exhibition hall our posters and miniature houses from different Filipino schools na entry nila sa kanilang dream house, their own interpretation of their dream homes. So we have different categories from the poster making competition, which is poster making competition from category A, which is from grade 1 to grade 3, and then we have poster making competition for category B from grade 4 to grade 6, and of course the miniature house competition, which is from, alright, ako pala ang mag-move, ayan. Ayan. Two, ayan, isa lang po yan, 1 to move there. Alright, so, Ayan. So may blocking lang po tayo, okay? M, usod tayo, M. Ayan. All right. So let us welcome on stage the moderator, our COO, or Chief Operating Officer, and the General Manager of the Filipino Times. We have Vince Ang.
Hi! Sorry. Good morning. Ayan. So medyo maaga pa sa ating mga physical visitors, but we already have viewers online. And of course, matagal na tayo dito sa Dubai. Alam naman natin na medyo pagtulog pa ang mga ibang tao, nagmumuni-muni pa sa kanilang kama. But a lot of them are already watching us and would like to know, of course, to hear from you. Diba? Bilang mga nagsimula, mas normal na tao, mas relatable. Kaya nga tayo
inspiration sa mga OFW na they need to save money and invest. Kasi hindi ka lang dapat gumagastos as OFW kasi tayo yung lugi. Pag umuwi tayo ng Pinas, anong baon mo? Kailangan mo yun eh. You need to parang the long day na pagod ka sa work, kailangan mo din ma-relieve sa stress. Pero, okay lang gumastos ka sa pagkain, pero wag too much sa mga material things. Kasi hindi po ako materialistic na tao. If I have a phone, I have an old phone. Hindi ako masyadong nag-upgrade. Ang ginagawa ko, kung may bagong labas na cellphone, mas gugustuhin ko siyang i-save sa bank ko para may pang-invest ako sa business.
Yeah, so I think it's more about moderation, and I think Dan would be able to share with us on how to, the idea that you can actually spoil yourself naman. You can spoil yourself a little, just as long as you can afford it, right? So that can you like give us an overview of yung parang financial approach mo naman, and making sure that you, while you're spoiling yourself, you can actually still invest.
Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Dan. So, based on my experience, mas na-prioritize ko yung investing into properties. And when the time came na like I'm already settled and okay na lahat, nabili ko na yung mga kailangan ko, condominiums, lots, and other investments, even health, even related to death. So I think that was the time na I triggered myself to also invest on myself. Investing on myself in a way na I can buy those luho na tinatawag natin. But as an overseas Filipino, we are always parang na-influence tayo ng ating mga friends. Like it's a peer pressure na when we see someone wearing Louis Vuitton, an Hermes, and so on and so forth, parang iniisip natin na dapat ako din meron. Pero at the end of the day, you need to prioritize on what matters most.
Thank you, Jana. I like the idea on mabilis tayo I mean, we're just human. Pwede namang mainggit, di ba? But how you react on it, that's a different story. Miko, I've seen you in couple of events, even other nationalities is more extravagant than us. But how do you keep yourself parang still sticking to your values that this is how you manage your finances, but still, hindi ka naman na-feel bad na parang feeling mo, kinakawawa mo yung sarili mo?
So yun din. Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Miko, Miko Banwa. So for me, yun din, gaya ni M, moderation is always the key. Always know the priority and all. And going back to your question earlier about paano ko nare-relate yung content ko sa finance and investing thing. It's very hard for me because my content is food and experiences. So mahirap siya ipasok. But in little way, in my own ways, nagagawa ko siya. For example, may mga tips ako binibigay. Like ano yung mga sale ngayon na areas. Sa yung restaurants na buy one, take one. So I think in that little way, nakapag-save yung mga kababayan natin. And kahit di ko sabihin sana mag-save kayo, in a way, merong tatabi para dun sa, let's say, meron silang budget for the weekend na 1,000. Dahil dun sa binigay kong tip or hack, nagiging half na lang siya. So yun.
Jay, on a more technical, parang anong advice mo talaga? How does someone start saving, and how would you assess when you are ready to invest? Parang, or is there such thing as meron bang sign? na ready na ako mag-invest.
Maganda yung sinabi mo na if ready na ako mag-invest, no? Kasi napansin ko rin, kahit ako, when I was starting, gusto ko agad mag-invest eh. Naakala ko, ito yung best way to make money. Well, it is one of the best ways. And I realized na, kasi ako nung nag-start ako, puro trial and error din eh. Kaya na-scam nga ako eh. Yun yung una kong experience ito sa UAE. I was telling them backstage, no? Na malaman mo na ready ka na if, number one, you have enough money, you're earning enough money, meron kang pera na sobra na you can invest in, and then wala kang utang, wala kang consumer debts. Okay? Mahirap mag-invest pag may utang ka kasi dahil for sure, yung utang na yon may interest na babayaran mo pa. And then, meron ka ng emergency fund. Emergency fund is yung 3 to 6 months usually ng expenses mo kapag nawalan ka ng work, nagkasakit ka, or what. And then next is meron ka ng insurance para i-cover yung mga uncertainties in life. Whether accident, loss of income, or loss of job, or yung malala talaga na sakit. And then, once na-covered mo na lahat yung parts na yun, yung stages na yun, then I would say na ready ka na talaga mag-invest. Kasi usually, ako, ang dami kong investments na nawala. Bakit? Pabaliktad ako. Inuna ko yung investment, wala akong insurance, so nag-start ako, wala akong emergency fund. Nung nagka-problema ako sa finances ko, nagka-problema kami sa Philippines, I had to give up some of my investments. And the moment na you give up those investments, lalo na kung long-term yung goal mo, you'll end up selling it at a loss. And again, rule number one, there are 2 rules of wealth ni Warren Buffett. Rule number 1, you make sure na you invest your money. And then, rule number 2 is when you invest your money, make sure na hindi mo mawala yung ininvest mo. So, those are 2 basic rules of life and investments na kailangan natin tandaan.
Okay, follow-up question. Because there are different forms of investments, di ba? But if you're gonna classify them, would you say na merong type of investment that a person should prioritize first? Kasi nga sabi mo, di ba, kanina, parang dapat may gantong, ito muna yung unahin, ganyan. If you're gonna rank it, kasi when we asked, parang we've conducted a survey before PPIE, majority pa rin of people, about 60-80%, I think, something like that, ang top of mind investment pa rin ay real estate. However, what's new with this survey, kasi the last PPIE was pre-pandemic, di ba? Yung bago dun sa survey na nakuha namin, second option na ng mga tao ang life insurance. Parang second top priority na nila, which was never in any of our survey from the past. Which I guess, parang it's because of the pandemic, diba? Or whatever insurance they're looking for when it comes to life and health insurance. Meron bang parang, step 1, step 2 ba yan na tinitingnan for financial advisors?
Actually, ang gantong goal is, ang investing is depende sa goal nung kausap ko, ang time frame na meron siya, yung risk appetite niya about that certain investment, and yung knowledge niya about the investment. Kasi pwedeng sa survey, sabihin, maraming nag-i-invest sa real estate. Pero, iba naman yung sitwasyon mo sa ibang tao. So, it's very important na before you invest, clear sa'yo yung purpose mo, yung why mo for investing. Kasi baka mamaya, ang gusto mo mag-invest, gusto mong kumita ng mas malaki. Pero yung time frame mo pala is 1 to 2 years lang. And when that happens, usually ganito yung nangyayari. Hindi aligned yung goal sa time frame. And when they need the money, let's say in 2 years lang, pero yung vehicle na pinag-invest nila is intended for 5-10 years, then most likely you'll lose money. So in terms of dun sa life insurance naman, I think, personal observation na dahil sa pandemic, they thought or they feel na, pwede akong, baka hindi mawala yung ipon ko, pero baka mawala yung buhay ko. And pag nawala yung buhay ko, kawawa yung pamilya ko. So I think yun yung isa mga naging trigger points kung bakit nagkaroon ng increase ng idea about life insurance. Just one thing that I wanna point out when it comes to insurance. Insurance is not an investment. It is risk management. Nagkataon lang na sa panahon ngayon, may mga insurance products na hinaluan ng investment vehicle. So again, ang purpose ng insurance is to protect your income. That's na pure insurance, which is cheaper and will give you higher coverage, which is the main purpose of insurance. Kasi ako, ang discipline ko is I separate insurance from investments. Kasi when I mix those two, mas malaki yung charges and mas mababa yung coverage. Yeah.
Dan, kasi something yung insurance kasi 'di ba sa Philippines, hindi pa hinog na hinog yung country with the idea na it's important, 'di ba? It has got a lot of benefits. Kung kaya mo siya, afford mo siya, put it as in your must list, 'di ba? You mentioned earlier that you've also
And in healthcare has really helped me to to realize the importance of investing into insurance. Say for example, I invested on death related. So bumili ako ng property sa cemetery, yung lot. So a lot of you might laugh at it because it's too morbid or it's too early for you to invest on that. But you will never realize na dadating yung time na pag may nawala sa pamilya mo or God forbid, yung value ng lot na yun, nung na moment na nabili mo siya, was still very low at hindi mo kasi alam, di ba, ano mangyayari. So, that time, magiging mahal na siya. I can tell you a concrete example. Nung binili ko siya, it was only 50,000 pesos. Pero nung kaibigan ko, namatay yung lola niya, so walang mapaglibingan, walang lote na bakante. So, I had to sell my lot. I think bumili ako ng 4. Kasi that's only 50,000. And then, so you will already have, then magkatabi pa kayo ng pamilya mo, di ba? So, that time, emergency. So, wala siyang mapagbilhan. I think he spent 250,000. So, I gained 200,000. So, investing into properties, really, it's not just about, marami kasi, may condominiums, may lote para sa housing and all. It's really a valued investment kasi dadating yung time na yung value niya magi-increase. So, kaya for me, yun yung sa personal naman. Sa family naman is, yun, aside sa monthly na tinatanggap nila, I bought them properties para dun sa bahay nga, makapagtayo ng bahay for them. Kasi, syempre, for you to be blessed, you have to bless your parents as well, your family as well. So, ayun, dapat ma-realize din siya ng mga tao na as early, kasi ako, what really triggered me to invest into something was I knew my purpose when I set foot to the UAE. Parang alam ko na ito yung magiging mangyayari sa akin at saka ito yung magiging goal ko. So, wala akong ibang goal. So, when I landed, sabi ko, okay, so sabi ko, kasi dapat smart eh. When you invest into something, you should be smart. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bounded. That's a very basic principle of investment. Hindi lang siya sa investment, kahit sa buhay.
any planning.
Yes, any planning. So, ayun. And syempre, risk analysis, risk assessment, kailangan mo mag-SWOT analysis. What are the strengths? If you invest into something, ano yung mga strengths? Ano yung... Kasi depende din yan sa tao. If you are too strategic and you focus on being proactive rather than being reactive, I think makukuha mo lahat yung mga possibilities. So you have to think forward, lalo na sa mga risks, kung ano yung mga mangyayari. Ayun.
Okay. Yung minsan kasi may mga perception ng mga tao for people like us who talked about our investments and all that. Minsan may perception na baka naman mayaman na yan talaga dati. Wala naman masyadong sinusuportahan sa Philippines, 'di ba? May ganung perception na parang kaya naman yan nakaipon, hindi yan nagpapadala sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? Miko, how do you parang plan your if you can share, parang how do you plan your expenses? Do you save a portion of it for investment? Like, anong diskarte natin?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Kasi nga, kausap ko kanina si Jay, sabi ko, ang dami yung technical na alam. Sabi ko, usap pa tayo ng mas mahaba. Kasi actually before, my idea of saving ako mag-Boracay. Magsisave ako pang Boracay. Gusto ko ng Jordan, mag-save ako ng Jordan. So parang, andun yung konsepto, pero short term siya. Nang trigger point din na hindi siya forever nandito ako. Baka 2 years lang, 3 years, 4 years. So sabi ko, nagkaroon ako ng goal bigla dapat habang nandito ako, lahat ng pwede kong ipunin, lahat ng pwede kong makuha sa bansang to, mauwi ko sa pamilya ko, gagawin ko siya. So, doon talaga nagsimula na nagkaroon ako ng idea na, okay, sige, yung basic na, nakita mo online na kunin mo na yung expenses, and kung ano yung matira, get your savings, and kung ano yung matira, yun yung ano. So, yun yung basic lang talaga ginagawa ko ngayon. Kaya I would really need to talk to Jay about more technical stuff on.
Sige. Before tayo kausapin si Jay on the technical, because I'm pretty sure marami yan sasabihin sa atin. Baka mapagalitan tayo ni Jay, paano tayo mag-spend? Joke lang.
Bigyan tayo ng bill bigla.
Oo, di ba? But, sinabi mo kanina, di ba? Napakahirap nga for a lifestyle blogger to inject, di ba? Even Miko, parang very tricky on how are we going to promote that culture of saving. So, for you, like, ano yung usual challenges or ano yung usual temptation? I'm pretty sure makaka-relate yung mga tao dyan. But how do you manage na, okay, dito lang ako muna. And ano yung usual Filipinos na parang challenges nila? And how do you give advice? Then,
To give advice po, sobrang hirap, lalo na pag yung mga ibang tao hindi naniniwala sa'yo. But as social media influencer, may mga naniniwala talaga sa'yo. So, ako po kasi, like what I said earlier, I'm saving the money na para sa materialistic dapat na hindi ko naman siya dinadala doon. So, I'm saving the money para sa investment. So, ang ginagawa ko, through my social media accounts po, I'm giving advices. Doon nga, katulad kay Kuya Miko, go to this restaurant kasi mas mura dito. If travel, you need to DIY kasi mas cheaper, ganon. So, as social media influencer po, ang ginagawa ko, if you have something, like if you have a little money, you need to save it. Kasi yung little money na yon, lalaki siya at lalaki. At magagamit mo siya investment or savings. Tulad nga ng sinasabi ni Kuya Jay kanina, you need to invest on insurance, you need to invest. Kasi po, to be honest po, first 5 years ko dito, wala akong ipon. 2 years ako nag-work as private nurse. Ang sweldo ko lang 2,000 dirhams. So yung 2,000 dirhams na yon, padala siya direkta sa Pinas. Kasi hindi po ako lumalabas that time. So, stay in lang ako nun eh. So, yung food ko, bigay lang dun sa bahay. Tapos, nung nag-work ako as school nurse, medyo lumaki yung sweldo ko ng konti. So, at that time, nakakapag-save na ako ng money. Tapos, nagkaroon pa ako ng vlog, which is nakakakuha ko ng mga TF. Yung mga TF ko na yun, sinisave ko po. Ako kasi, nagkakaroon ako ng bagong cellphone, camera, through collaboration. So, nalilibre ako doon. So, for example, yung isang brand ng camera, magpapadala ng camera sa akin. So, hindi ko na kailangan bumili. Yung pambili, savings ulit. So, ganun po. Pag nagbablog ako, guys, pag may mura dito, doon kayo bumili. Kasi yung masasave yung money, pwede nyo pang itabi. Tapos, ang nangyari po kasi, nung lumipat ako ng work, di ba nagka-pandemic? During pandemic, doon ko na-realize ang importance ng savings. Kasi ang school po yung unang nag-close. So parang 6 months ata sarado yung school, wala kaming sweldo nun. Lahat ng savings ko, nagalaw. So doon ko na-realize, I need to save more. Kasi yun din yung pina-realize ko sa mga kababayan natin na hindi lang dapat pandemic ang gumising sa atin para mag-save tayo ng pera. Para pag nagka-emergency ulit, may makuha tayo. So, ang ginamit ko yung social media accounts ko para gisingin yung mga OFW na, hoy, kailangan nyo mag-save kasi pag may nangyari, may mahugot kayo. Ganun po yung ginawa ko.
Jay, speaking of savings, kasi yan nga yung pinaka-importante. And I like what you mentioned earlier that you should have enough liquid cash then,
Yes.
di ba? Ang sabi mga, di ba, 3 months, di ba? That's, yun yung parang sinasabi ng standard. But I believe si Dan, mas marami pang ipon yan sa 3 months.
3 years yan
no?
si Dan, alam ko.
Jay, paano tayo mag-start? Parang ano yung tip na kaya mong, or parang ano yung save mo? Paano ako mag-save? Ano yung dapat kong ibawas? How do I change that? And it's not changing your expenses, your lifestyle, di ba? Kasi yung kabuuan yun, habit siya eh. Yes, please.
Yung sa akin yan yung struggle ko eh. Kasi most of my life, I was a spender. Kasi lahat ng pera ko nauubos sa sapatos. Yung utak ko, nasa paa ko. Nandun yun. Yun yung nag-iisip para sa akin, ba't kong bilhin eh. Pero nung dumating ako, it was a wake-up call. Like Miko said, no, nung dumating ako sa Dubai, wake-up call siya na sabi ko, shucks, paano ko makakaipon sa gantong sweldo? Hindi siya enough. And then, narealize ko na, wala akong matitipid sa gantong klase ng sweldo. So, tama yung sinabi ni Dan, you really have to go back to your purpose. Know your financial why, bakit ka nagpunta sa Dubai in the first place, and para kanino mo ito ginagawa. Is it for your family? Is it for you? Or for your future self? For your wife? Very important yung why. Kasi the moment na kahit magka-pandemic man yung next pandemic, hahanap ka ng way para kumita ng pera. Kasi yun yung di ba tanong is about saving. Second is, now you know your why, you have to prioritize savings. When I say prioritize savings, pagkuha mo ng sweldo, ibawas mo na yung savings. And anything na matitira is your expenses. Trust me, magic to. Ginawa ko to. Envelope method. Pag sweldo, encash lahat, iba-ibang envelopes, iba-ibang purpose, emergency, bahay, insurance, investment, yung natira expense. Nangyari sa akin was, pag last week na ng buwan, ang pera ko na lang siguro, sabi mo 50 dirhams. Sabi ko, paano ko itatawid 50 dirhams? Minsan nga 20 na lang. Ang gagawin ko, pupunta ako ng West Zone. Bibili ako ng hotdog na Dux, D-O-U-X. 7 dirhams yun. I think 12 pieces or 10 pieces yun. Yung 10 pieces, i-extend ko yun ng 1 week para umabot ako sa next na sweldo. Kasi again, going back, alam ko yung why ko. Alam ko yung why ko. And number 2, kailangan kong i-prioritize yung savings. Hindi siya something na optional for me. It is a must. Now, nung na-prioritize ko na yung savings ko, sabi ko, hindi enough to. I need to make more money. Kasi hindi aabot pag bininiran mo yung numbers, hindi ko ma-reach yung goal ko ng gantong amount lang. So, I look for ways paano ko kikita ng extra. Sumideline ako ng mga maglinis ng makina ng isang yate sa Rashid Port, tagahila ng kable, para kumita ng extra. Kahit 100 dirhams a day, ginawa ko yun. $100 a day, ginawa ko rin yun. Kasi nga, kailangan kong dagdagan yung pera na yun. And the moment na nag-start lang ako sa maliit na savings. Nag-start ako ng 100, okay, and then 200, hanggang sa the moment na nabibuild mo yung habit. Ang importante kasi is yung habit. Hindi siya sa amount ng tinatabi mo. Kung 1,000 yan, hindi mahalaga. Piso man yan, 1,000, walang pinagkaiba yan.
Key takeaways from this, and I'd like Dan to answer this as well. Like you mentioned about creating that habit, diba? And sticking to your whys. And si M then's all about ito lang yung kailangan ko, diba? So prioritize lang muna natin yung kailangan. Pag may sumobra, tsaka tayo mag-isip kung gagastusin pa ba natin yan and all that. And Dan, I like what you mentioned earlier na you also invest in yourself, diba? And si Miko is all about, pwede ka naman gumastos, pero dun sa mas ikakatipid. But then, I like the idea of investing on yourself. Kasi nga, sabi ni si Jay, ang diskarte niya, okay, hindi kasya yung sweldo ko ngayon. Hanap ako ng ibang racket. But I believe that yung diskarte mo naman on investing yourself is to amplify your skills, your own talent, your knowledge. So, anong advice mo on parang continuous education? Kasi that would also help you get promotion, di ba?
Yeah.
And promotion may not be, but synonymous to increment, di ba? And that would be more income and probably more savings for you. Anong thoughts mo on that, Dan?
I think my thoughts on that, we seldom neglect the importance of education, especially as Filipinos, na nag-work na as overseas Filipino dito. Para sa atin, okay, I'm working and I think I'm stable. But we neglect the idea of investing on yourself, again, on yourself, kasi that's your professional growth and development. I can tell you a good example. I was hired, but my rate was not based on my education in the Philippines. I was hired and I was given the same rate as the other nationals because I internationalized my education. So I graduated here. I invested major in international healthcare systems. I think that's your way to move forward in terms of your career. Kasi your value will increase based on not just your experience, but also your education. let's be realistic and let's be practical and let's face the reality. Our education in the Philippines, if you start working here, it's go back to zero. Especially if you work in a multinational companies, if you work with or companies that's being managed by a group of international organizations, you are not identified and assessed as a person or based on your passport. You are always, your education and your experience are critical in terms of your application. Kaya, yun nga sinasabi ko kanina, always go back to your core. Invest on yourself, invest on your family. Again, invest on yourself. I invested on myself, so I studied. And if magkakaroon man ng job fair or something, if I apply into a specific position, I'm not gonna be rated as, alam mo yun, ito yung educational attainment ko, hindi. I mean, as a person pala, or as my nationality pala, sorry. But I am rated because I amplified my education. I internationalized my credentials.
Sige. Going back to being relatable with our audience, Miko, sige. Ano yung something, I think, if you're gonna look back, ano yung feeling mo you should have done better when it comes to spending your money?
Less travel. Yeah. Well, although sasabi nga ng mga friends ko na it's still an investment, memories daw siya. Pero yun nga, I've spent too much money on travel before na hindi talaga siya pinag-iisipan. So yun nga, mag-ipon ako para mag-travel, tas ubus na siya. Then, ang next ko na naman na goal, okay, next destination, ipon na naman. So if I could have save this money on something and invest on something, baka mas may nakita ako ngayon. Kasi I think I started my maturity nung pumunta na ako ng Dubai. Yung sabi ko kanina, pagdating ko dito talaga naisip na, kailangan ko mag-save, kailangan ko mag-ganito kasi mag-isa lang ako dito, wala akong kasama. Yun nga, baka 2 years lang ako dito. Paano pag umuwi ako, wala akong mauwing na-save na pera, wala akong na-invest. So yun, I could have done that. And actually, di rin ako maano sa material things. But actually, tatama si Dan sa sinabi na invest on yourself. I have this friend, lagi niya akong sinasabihan na, Miko, bumili ka naman ng magandang damit. Kasi nagko-collab ka, nasa video ka. Minsan ni-interview ka, nakikita kita, naka-t-shirt ka lang. Sabi niya, so mag-invest para tubas yung value mo. And when I started doing that, through most of the brands na lumalapit sa akin, alam mo, nagkaroon siya ng value bigla. Parang nung pag nag-approach sila sa'yo, hindi na, unang-una nga pag Pilipino ka, mas mababa talaga ang i-offer sa'yo. Pero nagbago siya when I started to really invest on yung mga material things na kasi
kailangan sa trabaho.
Kailangan sa trabaho na you have to really look good. Dapat maayos ka lagi. So that mga gamit for me, dati phone lang ginagamit ko sa pagbablog. Ngayon I invested on good.
Times na ibabacktrack mo siya, it's a deep questioning of yourself why you're doing this. Who you're doing this for. Ano yung importance niya sa'yo. Kaya pag may lumalapit sa akin, Jay, may sobra akong, 3 days ago, may nag-message sa akin sa LinkedIn. Sabi niya may extra pera siya na gusto niyang i-invest. Ngayon, hindi naman pwede magbigay ng advice out of thin air, right? And when I meet people like that, I have to sit down and really ask them why they want. Kasi if hindi talaga clear sa'yo yung purpose, pag biglangan nagkaroon ng problema, okay, may lumabas na bagong investment ba? May Bitcoin or crypto na lumabas. Mas malaki yung kinikita dito. Pull out ko na tong investment ko sa real estate kasi ang tagal ng kinikita, ang tagal na tulog yung pera ko eh. Pero if clear sa'yo, let's say, ang bumili ako ng property para sa family ko, it's an investment of love, not out of economical investment. Dalawang classification kasi sa akin for real estate. So if it's an investment of love, it will really take time. Kasi matagal itatayo mo pa yan, right? And hindi dahil may bagong investment na mas malaking kinikita sa real estate. Minsan pull out mo yung pera mo dyan sa know your why when you invest.
That's good, no? It's really identifying. I think you really have to identify your purpose.
Yes.
Para mas para ma-assess mo din sa sarili mo, ano ba talaga? What do you really want to invest in? Kasi hindi naman pwedeng narinig mo yung kapitbahay mo nag-invest, tapos ikaw din nag-invest,
Yes.
diba? Ilalabas na hindi ka investor, inggitero ka lang talaga.
Oo.
Diba?
Inggitero
Kasi
investor
you
yan.
really have to, to understand.
Pero
Kasi-
tama sinasabi
Kasi
mo,
baka
Vince.
hindi mo siya afford eh. Bumili yung kapitbahay mo ng 2-bedroom.
Yes.
Eh, yung kinikita mo baka mamaya hindi pa pala for that building. Hindi man lang
Yeah.
yung studio eh. Baka hindi lang for that development.
Yeah.
Pwede ka rin naman makabili ng 2-bedroom baka sa ibang development. You really just have to assess.
Yeah, let me tell you a quick story lang. I used to work in real estate din, diba? You know that. So, may mga nakakausap ko ng mga kababayan din na sabi, ang sweldo niya 2,000. And then, may lumapit sa kanya na, ewan ko, salesperson, na nag-offer parang, 200, 300 dirhams a month lang. So, akala niya, uy, kaya ko to marunong magtipid eh. Kaya lang, hindi pala niya alam na yung contract price was 9 million na studio sa isang So, nang nalaman niya, paano kapag, hindi akala niya, 200 yun na yun. Pero, babayaran niya lang pala is like 5 to 10% lang nung entire contract price. So, because of that, hindi niya nga alam, nainggit siya. Kasi yung supervisor niya bumili, ganun din. So ako gusto ko rin, feeling ko, kaya ko to eh. Big boy na ako, malaking na ako eh. Nandito na ako sa UAE, kaya ko nang bumili niya. Pero again, if hindi mo nga alam kung personal finance is more on behavioral, hindi ito mathematical, hindi ito something na niraran lang ng numbers. It is behavioral. How you manage yourself when you have money.
Thank you. If meron kang gusto pang pag-invest or investan ngayon, what would that be?
Of course, real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah. Actually po, nagpapahanap. Nung umuwi kasi akong Pinas last July, August, naghahanap na talaga akong lupa and I'm planning parang resort, mini resort lang. Kasi usong-uso dun sa area namin. Parang ang rent dun is 10,000 per night. So, nagpapahanap ako sa mama ko ng lupa and yun yung plano ko talagang gawin. Kasi nung umuwi ako, eto po, parang little information. This year po kasi, I hit my first million. Sa savings ko, ngayon, palang ako nakahawak ng 1 million sobra. So, ang ginawa ko, medyo mali ako dito sa ginawa ko na to, pero sabi nga ni Kuya Dan, priority mo yung sarili mo and pamilya mo. Inispoiled ko yung papa ko, binilang ko siya ng sasakyan, pinagawa ko yung bahay namin. Which is, nung nakita ko yung mga mukha nila, hindi ko po kasi nagagawa to eh. Parang maliit-liit lang na bagay na bibigay ko sa kanila. And this year, nabigyan ko ng sasakyan yung papa ko and napagawa ko yung bahay namin. Sobrang tuwa nila na I can able to do that para maging masaya sila. So, ayun po, ngayon lang ako nakahawak ng ganun. And yung kalahati nun, ginawa ko for investment. So, I have my own cosmetic line. Tapos ngayon po, naghahanap nga ako ng lupa for may plan na parang resort. And may condo din po akong tinitignan ngayon para iparent. So, earnings pa din siya. So,
Talaga the
yes.
portfolio.
So, parang naisip ko, ngayon lang ako nakahawak ng gantong kalaking pera. Kailangan masulit ko siya, kailangan madoble siya. Kasi parang may nabasa ako na pag first time mo nakahawak ng ganung pera, waldas. Nabasa ko lang siya sa social media. Pero ang mindset ko, ngayon lang ako nakahawak ng ganito, kailangan maulit siya, madoble siya. Dapat di lang ngayon, di lang ngayong first time. Dapat lagi. Para mapasaya ko lang yung pamilya ko. Kasi ang priority ko sila eh. Pero sabi nga ni Kuya Dan, you also need to invest on yourself. So, ayan, medyo mag-invest na rin ako sa sarili ko. Ayun po.
Dan, best investment so far?
Best investment so far, again, sa sarili ko, I was able to buy properties, insurance para sa sarili ko. I traveled to more than 35 countries. And best investment so far is my daughter. Ayun lang.
Alam natin. Panoorin nyo na lang po ang videos ni Dan. every day.
Panoorin niyo sa Kapuso Mo, Jessica Soho.
Ayan, ang story ni Dan sa kanyang best investment so far. if you could give, kasi si Jay, di ba, medyo technical yung approach na on giving advice, yung best advice niya. But ikaw, on a parang tambayan session, anong sasabihin mo sa kaibigan mo? Paano mo siya mako-convince to invest?
Actually, yun din sa ano ni Jay, yung purpose talaga, kung ano yung why mo, kung bakit, ano yung goal mo.
Bakit ka pumunta dito?
Oh, ba't ka mag-invest? Kasi pag hindi kasi strong yung why and yung purpose mo, walang value yung gagawin mo eh. Like for example, yung sabi mong example na nainggit lang na bumili ng property. I don't think may value yun sa'yo. So ang tendency nun, nag-invest ka, let's say nag-down ka na, then after a few months, nainggit na naman ako dito. After, nasayang lang yung pera mo. So for me, it's also goal setting. So mag-goal set ka kung ano ba yung gusto mong ma-attain. And for me, I don't know if it's right, but I'm always very specific on the goal, especially sa finances. For example, for the month. Kasi right now, kasi I'm not working on a company. Wala, nag-freelance ako. So hindi talaga sure yung magkano yung sasahurin ko buong buwan. But I always set a goal na, for example, for this month, kailangan ganito yung X amount na makukuha ko. So for the first week of the month, pag ito pa lang yung kliyente na nakakausap ko, maghahabol na ako kasi baka hindi ko maabot yung goal ko. So always na may specific goal palagi. Kasi pag hindi specific yung goal mo, hindi ka magiging, parang wala kang direction. Na parang,
There's no way you'll be able to meet your end goal, diba?
Parang nung nag-start ako, ang goal ko dati, kailangan compensate yung sahod ko dati. Then after that, kailangan 1.5 na siya. Then habang tumatagal, tumataas na yung goal na, dapat ito, ganito, ganito. Which is, I think, a good thing kasi na pupush ka na, kasi by nature, competitive din kasi ako eh. Alam mo yon, goal-oriented talaga ako. So parang gusto kong maabot siya bago matapos yung buwan.
And I like what everyone said. Yes, Dan.
Gusto ko lang i-echo yung yung sinasabi nyo kanina about inggit. Let's make it into a positive thing. Kasi yung sinabi ko nga kanina, peer pressure. Dumating tayo sa mga times na parang yung mga kaibigan natin really invested into properties. And let's make that as a trigger for us to realize hindi siya inggit, but it's a matter of triggering ourselves that thing. So dapat wag tayo magpakabog kasi 'di ba competitive tayo. So yung kaibigan natin may ganitong condo. So I have to buy for myself. I have to buy for my family. And again, you have to embed your purpose. So kahit ayaw mong pakabog, competitive ka, pero alam mo yung purpose mo, bakit ka mag-i-invest? Are you going to invest? Are you going to buy a unit for yourself, for your family, or you want to buy it as a passive income?
I think what you're trying to say as well is that hindi ka dapat mainggit, but it should serve as your inspiration na
Yes.
siya nakapag-ipon na. Dapat ikaw rin, you slowly should be able to start doing that, di ba? And alam naman natin, people would argue na parang we all have different definition of success and all that. Then we go back to our core, di ba? Because your core is your definition of success. So ano yung core mo, ano yung definition mo ng success, paano mo siya gagawin, be smart on planning it, and sabi nga ni Miko, yes, nagkakamali tayo, we've done that before, but hindi pa naman huli ang lahat. Humihinga ka pa, so may chance ka pa to change things, right? And Jay here would be able to help you out on the technical stuff, on what kind of investment you can reach out, any of our influencer, ask them on paano nila ginawa yun or whatever advice, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them will be very, very happy. Everyone here shares the same heart, diba? To share and inspire other people. So kontakin nyo lang po sa mga nanonood sa atin dyan sa PPIE and the Filipino Times Facebook account. You may contact them, ask for their advice. They're very much willing to help you guys out. For me lang, my takeaway on this conversation is that everyone doesn't know how to start investing. Diba? Hindi naman yan tinuturo sa school. Diba? Hindi yan kasama sa math natin. Na paano ka mag-start mag-save, diba? Kung hirap na hirap ka sa 1+1, mas lalo kang hirap na hirap mag-isip mag-save, diba? But there are other people, there are other experts out there who'll be able to give the proper advice for you. It doesn't matter what I've learned from M. is that it doesn't matter kung magkano yung sweldo mo. If your heart is to invest and to save up, you'll be able to do that. Dan taught me today that you can actually store and spoil and splurge just as long as you can afford it, diba? And si Miko, I think for me is very, very much relatable to everyone, diba? Nagkamali ako, gumastos ako, inuno ko yung luho ko, but then again now, I am a better version of myself, diba? So again, maraming salamat to our influencers, and we hope na influence natin everyone to be a better version of ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you po.
Ka-TFT, mahilig ka bang magkape? Alam bang kapag inipon mo ang gastos mo sa bawat cup ng kape sa loob ng isang buwan, pwede ka na makabili ng property? Hindi ako nagbibiro, natutunan ko yan sa PPIE. Sabi nila, for as low as 700 to 1,000 dirhams, pwede ka na makabili ng iyong dream property sa Pilipinas. Okay lang naman magkape paminsan-minsan kasi nga naman, deserve. Pero ang konting pagtitiis, kapalit naman ay pagtupad sa pangarap mong matamis. Mas masarap nga namang magkape sa bahay na matatawag mong iyo. Kaya naman, magkita-kita tayo sa Philippine Property and Investments Exhibition na gaganapin sa November 5 and 6 sa Crowne Plaza, Dubai. Mag-register na sa www.ppie.ae. See you there!
DMCI Homes, BPI, Remata, and Pisopal. And of course, our official airline partner, Philippine Airlines, our official media partner, the Filipino Times, and we'd also like to thank our food sponsors. We have Teriyaki Boy, we have Paluto Restaurant, we have Agimon Express, and Wendali. And of course, our social media influencers present today, we have Abdul Bandon of MPD, Pinoy Newsfeed, of course, who joined with us earlier in the panel discussion. We have Dan Lester Dabon of Racing Danaya, M. Serrano of M. Serrano Vlog, Jay Tolentino of J. Adrian Tolentino, and Miko Banwa of his own name, Miko Banwa. All right. So we also like to thank our community partners, Barista Community Middle East, Bayanihan Abu Dhabi Council, Emirates Culinary Guild, Filipino Nurses Association in the Emirates, Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines, UAE Chapter, Institute of Integrated Electrical Engineers of the Philippines, UAE Chapter, Masta Bartenders Association, Philippine Business Council Abu Dhabi, Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants Dubai, Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers, Society of Human Resource Professionals and Associates, and of course, United Architects of the Philippines Abu Dhabi Chapter. And of course, guys, if you have seen during the while you were doing the registration, meron tayong mga entries. So we have there the poster making competition for category A from grade 1 to grade 3. Yun nandito po on the first part, and then on the second part of our poster is our category B, which is from grade 4 to grade 6. And of course, our entries from the high school department, we have the miniature house making contest, and gawa po ito sa recycled materials. And this, and their entry are their own interpretation of their own dream house. Ayan. So of course, we would also like to invite you to visit the booths of our sponsors and exhibitors. You also visit the booths of our sponsors and exhibitors. You also have from New Perspective Marketing International, Pisopal, and remata.com.ph. And of course, now, to give us an update on the growing financial investment power of Filipinos in the UAE and their changing consumer behavior and preferences, we have my co-host, the General Manager of the Filipino Times and Chief Operations Officer of New Perspective Media Group, give us insights from the recent results of the national survey. Let us give him a big one of applause.
Ayan. So, Just to give an idea for everyone. So the Filipino Times is, as probably everyone knows, I hope, ay nakapagbasa ng the Filipino Times maybe in a newspaper form or our website or our Facebook pages. And I'm very, 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 very much happy to announce that yes, we were one of the latecomers when it comes to the media landscape, but we're the only surviving now na full-fledged media publication catering to the Filipinos. And of course, we owe you, every one of you, the opportunity na nakakapag-serve pa rin kami sa Filipino community. Now, Filipino Times is born out of love of the owner, Dr. Karen Rimo, to serve the Filipino community. But we're really a marketing agency, and something that I think every Filipino should be proud of. New Perspective Media po is fully owned by a Filipina. Most of our staff are Filipinos, but we service the UAE government. So may mga kliyente po kami, we do marketing from different brands such as Dubai Chamber, the Ministry of Interior. So yung mga marketing things po na ginagawa nila is made by us, the Filipinos. And also, since we have our expertise on serving the UAE government, we also became the go-to agencies of various Filipino brands if they want to penetrate the UAE market, as well as the Philippine government. So nung participation po ng Philippines sa Expo 2020, sino pa nagpunta dito ng Expo 2020? Ayan. So kung nakapunta po kayo sa Philippine Pavilion, hindi po kami ang nag-design. Okay? That's a different story. Ang role po namin, hindi pa kami architect, hindi pa kami engineer. Ang role po namin ay i-promote siya. Kaya po, may nakikita kayo doon ng mga ibang other nationality because that's our goal. Ipakita po at bisitahin tayo ng ibang nationalities. And aside from that, since the government knows that we are very well versed on the landscape of communication and marketing, and we're also experts of Filipinos. So the Dubai Chamber po, being one of our clients, partnered with us to understand ano na nga ba ang changes ng mga Filipinos when it comes to consumer behavior. Yung consumer behavior po, ayan po yung minimeasure kung paano tayo gumastos. Diba? So ito po, here are some of the results on the survey that we've conducted and that we presented during the GBF ASEAN. So meaning, yung buong ASEAN, inimbitahan ng UAE para i-present ano nga ba ang investment, ano nga ba ang opportunity to target Filipinos. So that's where we try to market the Filipinos. Kasi the more na mag-i-invest ang mga ibang bansa sa Philippines, the more that we can help earn, diba, yung GDP natin. Pag gumanda ang GDP natin, gaganda ang ekonomiya. Pag gumanda ang ekonomiya, hindi masyadong hirap ang pamilya natin sa Pilipinas. Yan. So, go back. Yeah. So, positive consumer sentiment. Survey conducted by the Filipino Times released at the Global Business Forum ASEAN shows that 96% of Filipinos in the UAE are optimistic that the UAE economy will continue to grow and prosper over the next 12 months. We presented this last December. And now, 11th month, nakita niyo naman, andito kayo. Diba? We all got our job. A lot of us got our job back. Diba? Marami sa atin ang makikita nyo dito, mas marami mga Filipino then based on the survey that have raised or received increments or heard of their friends getting increment. Kasi nga, with the growing purchasing power ng Filipino, 89% expressed that the confidence that their salaries will increase in the next 12 months. Karamihan sa kanila na pangakuan. A lot of your probably Western na mga and other nationalities na mga colleagues na umuwi, ang pumalit Pinoy. Diba? May mga nakita ba kayong mga ganong incident? And I think, that's quite common na nangyari sa atin for the last 12 months. What else? Upbeat business outlook, strengthening the UAE-Philippines ties are fueling businesses expansion of Philippine-based economies, UAE-based Filipinos entrepreneurs and international firms targeting Filipinos. This is something, ito medyo technical yung mga sasabihin ko. Medyo baka yung iba ma-board kasi it's more of a business, economic level, government-to-government tie-ups, diba? Have you heard of the word, SEPA or SIPA, yung CEPA? Di ba? Okay. Kung nagbabasa po kayo ng mga news, ito po yung collaboration para maging ease of trade. Di ba? Ano po ang resulta pag may ease of trade o mas mabilis magpalitan ng produkto ang bawat bansa? Ibig sabihin po, yung hindi mo na lalong mamimiss ang produkto yan dito. What else do we have here? Ayan. Sorry. Paback nga ako. Yan. Forward. Ito po yung sinasabi ng survey kanina. So, 96% sinabi tataas, gaganda ang economy ng UAE, which nakita naman natin. Pagdating nga nung end of September, di ba, wala nang mask, yung mga tao, mas lalo na gumagastos. December, parating po ang GITEX, I'm pretty sure, maraming gagastos sa mga Pilipino at bibili naman kung ano-ano gadget dyan. Di ba? Nakikita nyo naman, you know what our clients have mentioned when it comes to Filipino spending in malls. Sabi nila, pag nakita ng sale, makita nyo ang daming tao sa mall. Pero ang napansin nila, yung ibang tao nandun lang. Pero yung Pinoy may bit-bit, nakabili, or bumibili talaga. Hindi po nagpapalamig lang. Diba? What else? Are you expecting your company to perform better over the next 12 months? Yes, and a lot of them are expecting compensation increase. Ang compensation increase doesn't mean that your salary alone, but your also extended benefits. It could be additional air ticket, additional insurance, or additional allowances, diba? What else? Did you or any of your relative or friends, acquaintance receive salary or benefit increase in the past 12 months? 63% said yes, which is very, very, very much happy. Drivers of Optimism UAE has transformed in a place where the world converges in a huge global convention such as Expo. And after this Expo po, if you've noticed, a lot of events have been happening in the UAE, and we're very, very much happy. The PPIE is back, finally, because this is something really close to our heart. This is something that we do on a community service, that we want to make sure that everyone, every Filipinos, uuwi ng merong sariling investment. May it be a home ownership, your first home. It could be your passive income when you go back home. The goal is to make sure that every Filipino hindi po uuwing luhaan. Alright? And we really, really hope that after this session, try to visit. There are a lot of options there. Each of our developers are offering various investment options, various property options. Merong mga condotel dyan, merong mga house and lot, may condominiums, you know, all vertical and horizontal properties. Meron po dyan. So please make sure that you visit our exhibitors to make sure na meron kayong madadala pa uwi na pinag-iisipang investment. Hindi man po ngayon, at least you plan ahead. Right? Some of the surveys, ayan po. So, Filipinos are very, very optimistic nga daw po. And yung cases naman, di ba, patuloy na tapos na. And gayon nga, wala na tayong mask. Next. Next. Philippines is one of the fastest consumer market in the UAE. Next, just 8 out of 10 Filipinos. Ito yung age demographic daw. Karamihan daw ng Filipinos here in the UAE, 44% is about 36 to 45 years old, and 41 is about 25 to 35. And when it comes to investment, ito yung age bracket na napaka important for you to save, kasi ito yung mas mahaba pa yung opportunity mo to pay, di ba? Kasi ang mahirap, 50 years old ka na, doon ka nag-isip mag-invest. Tapos gusto mo mababa ang hulugan. Hindi i-stretch out mo siya to 25 years. Nauna pa yung retirement mo, hindi ka pa bayad. Diba? So it's really, that's why we're very, very happy that we're doing this, and we've seen a lot of our younger generation really looking at investment, because they have more opportunity to actually stretch out the payment terms para mas hindi hirap. But of course, we don't encourage that. Kung kaya nyo naman i-cash. Nakita ko may mga engineers dito na kayang-kayang mag-cash ata. Diba? Pwede natin naman yan. You have the option. You just play around with whatever you're comfortable. But what we're really, really important here is that you start saving and investing. Because again, saving is not enough. Filipinos are very, very brand loyal. Tama po ba? Tama? Kayo po ba ay naghahanap pa rin dahil walang call? At the same time, we're very, very aspirational. Even on products, di ba? We don't mind, again, you probably hear a lot of speakers here saying na, oh, wag ka munang bumili ng Louis Vuitton mo. Bili ka muna ng property mo. Di ba? But then again, it's up to you. Di ba? If you can afford it, why not? Di ba? If you have money to splurge on those things, why not? But what we're trying to say here is that you start investing first. Kasi you have to secure your future first before you start to spend and splurge everywhere. Diba? 6 out of 10 Filipinos daw said that they have personally seen a lot of promotion or marketing campaign that is targeting Filipinos. Bakit kaya? Kasi nakikita nga nila, Filipinos actually spend and love spending. But then again, the challenge, yung bola na punta sa court natin eh. Yung bola na punta sa'yo, how are you going to spend that? How are you going to be enticed by this promotion? So parang sabi nga nila, wala namang, sabi kanina dun sa session, wala namang problema na spoil yourself. Just think kung ano yung purpose mo. What do you really want to do? Diba? Do you want to invest? 2014, our survey says only 2 out of 10 Filipinos would like to invest. Nag-iisip. Diba? Willing to invest. But now, 8 out of 10 Filipinos are ready to invest. Kasama ka ba din sa 8 out of 10? Sino kasama sa 8 out of 10? Na willing to invest? Nahiya yung iba. Proud tayo dapat pag willing to invest. Kasi ibig sabihin, we're a wise spender. Diba? Meron na tayong napundar or meron tayong, or willingness to save up or to allocate something for our future. Sabi nila, si UAE daw, si UAE market is now the biggest when it comes to investment ng properties. Not only Ayala, but a lot of other brands as well. Here, I've already mentioned na si UAE top all other region na tinatarget nila kasi lumalaki yung investment ng mga tao from the UAE and mas dumami you're willing to invest. And we're very, very much happy to hear that because again, our sole purpose here is to make sure that every Filipinos will be able to save up, to have their own home, to create their own passive income, and eventually ma-achieve nila yung core goal nila on why they are here, which is, again, either to have a better future for themselves or a better future for all their loved ones as well. Again, maraming salamat po. Thank you for listening to a very, very short presentation of Filipino consumer behavior, and I hope kasama kayo sa mga positive response or result ng survey ng mga na-ingresan. Diba? Nagbabalak mag-invest or investing on themselves. Diba? How to be better, how to have a better version of themselves. And again, maraming salamat. Please, before you go, just try to visit the booths of our exhibitors, our sponsors, because I'm pretty sure there's an investment or a form of investment there that would perfectly fit the type of your risk appetite or investment preference. Na we really hope that PPI will be part of your investment journey. Again, thank you po again.
Ka-TFT, mahilig ka bang magkape? Alam bang kapag inipon mo ang gastos mo sa bawat cup ng kape sa loob ng isang buwan, pwede ka na makabili ng property? Hindi ako nagbibiro, natutunan ko yan sa PPIE. Sabi nila, for as low as 700 to 1,000 dirhams, pwede ka na makabili ng iyong dream property sa Pilipinas. Okay lang naman magkape paminsan-minsan kasi nga mas masarap nga namang magkape sa bahay na matatawag mong iyo. Kaya naman magkita-kita tayo sa Philippine Property and Investments Exhibition na gaganapin sa November 5 and 6 sa Crowne Plaza, Dubai. Mag-register na sa www.ppie.ae. See you there!
Lucia, Houseland Development Corporation, DMCI Homes, BPI, Remata, and Pisopal, our official airline partner, Philippine Airlines, our official media partner, the Filipino Times. And now, we're also inviting everyone to visit New Perspective Marketing International booth para po you'll get to know more about Piso Pal, ang ating investment app, as well as Remata, the newest platform po para sa maasahan at malinis na titulo po ng mga bahay. And also, para sa ating mga visitors, you were given colored stubs. So as you can see naman po, pagdating sa exhibition, pagpasok nyo sa entrance ng ating exhibition hall, meron tayong mga bahay, miniature houses, meron din tayong mga posters. Ito po ay gawa ng ating mga partner schools, tulad ng Al-Alfia Filipino Private School, Far Eastern Private School, New Filipino Private School, and the Philippine Global School. So ito po ay kanilang interpretation ng kanilang dream home. Ayan. So mga watches, perfumes, and all of that. So just first question, just an easy one. All you have to do is just, pwede po tayong mag-raise up and punta lang. So ang first question po natin ay napakadali lang. Ano po ba ibig sabihin ng PPIE? Ano po ibig sabihin ng PPIE? Dito po sir.
Philippine Property and Investment Exhibition.
Alright, yan. Philippine Property and Investment Exhibition. Thank you so much. So all you have to do once you give that stop is just go to the booth po ng The Filipino Times sa may registration area. Napakahirap po ng questions, ano? So okay, for the second question po natin, magbigay lang po tayo ng isang pangalan ng ating exhibitor ngayong araw na ito. Isa lang po. Dito po. Sige, dalawa po kayo. Dalawa po ang mananalo po. Tayo kasi live on Facebook.
BPI po.
BPI, congratulations. So nothing about, the exhibition. It can be anything about the topic. So meron din tayo, aside from our voting area po, so may mag-drop box, lagay niyo lang po yung number ng, number ng ating chosen or preferred entry, lagay nyo lang po sa designated drop box po per category, and then later i-announce natin po yan. And also, mamayang hapon po ay mamimigay po kami ng ating grand prize, which is Philippine Airlines round-trip ticket to, of course, Manila, Dubai po yan. Ayan. So, it will also be a form of palaro. So, just tune in kasi you guys, we need your, we need your energy, we need your, participation on this. All right? So, Vince? Okay. So, we would like to thank our food sponsor as well. Okay, we would like to thank our food sponsors, Teriyaki Boy, Agimono Express, Paluto Restaurant, and Wendali. We also like to thank our social media influencers who are here today. We have Abdul Bandon of MPD Pinoy Newsfeed, Dan Lester Dabon of Racing Danaya, M. Serrano of M. Serrano Vlog, and of course, we have Jay Tolentino of J. Adrian Tolentino, and Miko Banwa of Miko Banwa, our community partners, Barista Community Middle East, Bayanihan Abu Dhabi Council, Emirates Culinary Guild, Filipino Nurses Association in the Emirates, Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines UAE Chapter, Institute of Integrated Electrical Engineers of the Philippines UAE Chapter, Masta Bartenders Association, Philippine Business Council Abu Dhabi, Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants Dubai, Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers, Society of Human Resource Professionals and Associates, United Architects of the Philippines Abu Dhabi Chapter. So I see here, we are part of a group. Is that correct? Community group? May I know the community group you're in?
ICEP po, ma'am. Yeah. Institute of Electronics Communication Engineer.
Sir, mga po naman to, mga hi sir, hello po. Everyone is from ICEP? IAE. Ano naman po IAE? Community, from our community group. Ito na tayo sa PPIE, no? So I think it's actually very relevant kasi dun sa mga mga attendees natin who would actually like to have their houses or already buying their houses. We already have here our professional groups of engineers and architects. I think it's all around. We also have, sir, we also have here, ma'am, you're representing?
We are coming from the Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers, United Arab Emirates chapter.
Yes, a round of applause to our architects and engineers po attending today and today's session. And maraming salamat po sa inyong attendance. And of course, we would like again to have our official airline partner, Philippine Airlines, and official media partner, the Filipino Times. We are also inviting everyone. We have I Love the Filipino Times car stickers. So kung mayroon kayong mga kotse dyan and you're a fan of the Filipino Times, they're giving away the Filipino Times car stickers. Available po yan sa may registration area. And again, for those who are tuning in live on our Facebook account and YouTube accounts, we are actually here at Crowne Plaza, Sheikh Zayed for the Day 2 of Philippine Property and Investment Exhibition. We have here a lot of exhibitors happening, and there are a lot of projects that you can explore, that you can actually book. Aside from the exhibitors, of course, we have our bank partner, BPI. We have our airline partner, Philippine Airlines. And of course, kompleto na yan. Meron na tayo dito, architects and engineers na din, na gusto niyo na din makausap para makompleto na po ang ating all-around houses, na po natin, dream home natin. Ayan. Alright. So, in a while, we will be announcing, we will have a giveaway pa din. Okay, we have prizes to give away. So, we have one question. Jessica, question. All right, so we'll just wait for a couple of questions para sa ating Q&A. Okay. So, any one of you who has investment na po? Who has houses? Who are planning to expand your investment portfolio today? Planning? Yeah, planning to expand is also, diba? It's different from saying yes, but planning. Kasi we have a lot of exhibitors ngayon from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, a lot of different key areas po sa Philippines. It can be about investment for yourself, for your family, or pwede din as overseas Filipinos po, more on, like for me personally, I'm exploring on, making it a passive income. Kasi nga, I'm planning to stay here, let's say, for the next 10 years. So passive income is also one thing na gusto din natin i-consider. Ayan. So another question. Ano po? So another question, all of you naman po ay nandito kanina sa session ng ating General Manager ng the Filipino Times. But I would like to ask a question sa inyo. Parang inisip ko tuloy yung question. I'm so sorry. So if you guys would know, si Vince Ang po ay General Manager of which Filipino publication here? The publication.
The Filipino Times.
The Filipino Times. That's correct po. I love our clapper. Ayun na pala our game. All right. Congratulations. And of course, I would like to ask po, who is the official bank partner of PPIE? Who is the official bank partner of PPIE? Sino? BPI. All right, congratulations. All right, and then last one. Who is the official airline partner of the Filipino Times? Bigyan po ng 10 kasi 3 sila sumagot. Congratulations. Those who have received the stubs, you may claim it at the Filipino Times booth. So nasa registration area, you may win because that's surprise prize. So you can win either TFT merch, so we have t-shirts, mugs, and eco bags. We also have gold. We're giving away gold. So surprise, baka gold po yung nabunot nyo. So we have gold, we have small appliances. We also have a lot more, a lot more prizes. And I would like to thank everyone here, and we're also moving on to our next session. And thank you very much. You've been a great audience. I'll be back and giving our floor to our General Manager of the Filipino Times, and our COO of New Perspective Media Group, Vince Ang.
Thank you, Rain. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I just have to fix a couple of things for our sessions for today because back-to-back po tayo ngayon. Again, for our viewers who's watching us from our Facebook pages in PPIE and the Filipino Times, tuloy-tuloy po ang ating sessions, our financial literacy sessions from 9 a.m. kanina. Actually, since yesterday, we've been doing a lot of sessions, may it be a solo presentations from some of our exhibitors who's teaching us on how to invest or what to look for when it comes to property investment or different types of real estate investment and why we should start investing on real estate investment. But also we have a lot of speakers who are giving us mga pointers, some inspiration. I've seen familiar faces from yesterday who's giving us mga personal tips on how to invest on yourself so that you'll be able to have a better version of yourself. You'll be able to present yourself better, and that you'll hopefully carry that on in your career as well. Now, some of you probably know the Filipino Times not only as a publication but also as an award-giving body who recognizes Filipinos, exemplary Filipinos who've been doing really good job on the career or the passion that or things that they love to do or the career that they've chosen. So maraming na po, or since 2015 we've been recognizing a lot of Filipinos on different sectors through the Filipino Times Awards, and hopefully by next year, early next year as well, we'll be able to announce that the Filipino Times Awards will be back. Hopefully, we're just assessing on how things will move forward. But before that, we've sort of like mini announced this already, that we'll be doing a sectoral version of the Filipino Times Awards, which we would like to first start with our friends from the engineer and the architects sector, which is our watch list. So the version of the Filipino Times, some of the engineers here I've met before when we were talking about this since last year, but we weren't able to push through with that because of some of the restrictions. Because again, we want people to gather. We want everyone to be there because we want to share the joy of being recognized, diba? That's what we want. Ang hirap naman mag-receive ng award ng ikaw lang mag-isang masaya, diba? Parang hindi naman masyadong nakakatawa yun, diba? So now that that everyone is free, basically, we're free of masks as well, diba? Ang hirap mag-award ng mask na hindi natin alam kung masaya ba siya o hindi, diba? Tama ba? Diba? So hopefully by this year, and we are we are fully committed that we'll hopefully by early of next year, we'll be able to launch this officially. So how does it work? How does it differs from the Filipino Times Awards, diba? So magkaiba po siya sa maraming proseso. Una, alright, the Filipino Times Awards is based on the scoring of the judges, diba? So we have panels of judges that nag-score out on series of things, different criteria. Kasi si the Filipino Times Awards, medyo dapat ikaw din ay well-rounded, diba? May mga community service, different factors to consider, diba? Sorry. There are different sectors that we're looking at, and you're also being judged by different people, not necessarily of your expertise as well. But this one is more of a watch list. It's an editorial watch list wherein we'll be focusing on a sector so that yung mga judges then even are experts, diba? Probably, we're hoping, siguro, a lot of you are quite familiar na marami naman talagang mga magagaling na engineers and architects, and I'm pretty sure yung mga nakaupo dito, kayo din sa sarili nyo alam nyong, ay, magaling ako. Tama ba? Tama ba? Feeling ba natin magaling tayo kaya tayo nandito? Dapat positive tayo, hindi lang yung baka naman magaling ako. 'Di ba? Hindi pwedeng ganoon. 'Di ba? Dapat you believe in yourself. Walang ibang maniniwala niyan. Ikaw lang muna, 'di ba? Pag if you don't believe in yourself, medyo masasablay tayo diyan, 'di ba? Now, As mentioned, and I hope, by the way, before I continue, I hope magstay kayo after this because one of our speakers after this is also an engineer, a chem-eng, diba? Chemical engineer, a Filipina, who is now a CEO of a company who has about more than 500, diba, employees. So, matutuwa kayo sa story niya. So, please stay here. Baka mamaya nandito lang kayo to listen to this. Mas may inspire kayo kaysa sa akin. Doon sa susunod na session natin. Now, hopefully, if all things went well, ang magiging session po natin or magiging recognition natin is by Feb. Mostly 3rd or 4th week of February, and we're just finalizing all the logistics. But then again, it will be open specifically for engineers and architects. So, a lot of you here, so a lot of you here, nakikita ko may nagsabi kanina from the architects, diba, ng Abu Dhabi, merong mga engineers dito. Please spread out these to all of your members because we want to recognize as many engineers as possible. And ma-pinpoint natin sino ba talaga yung magagaling. But also, don't be disheartened pag hindi po nasama. Kasi that doesn't mean na hindi ka magaling. It's just that baka lang iba yung hinahanap ng mga judges or yung scoring panel natin. Diba? Siyempre, iba-iba naman tayo ng scoring or iba-iba tayo ng preference. Diba? But of course, we'll have credible judges who will be scoring you and rating you based on the credentials that we'll be asking from your end. Diba? And also, hindi lang naman isang tao yung magja-judge, so don't worry. Hindi naman po ito ay kaibiganan or pare-pare system. Diba? And the Filipino Times has always been very, very parang something that we've always protected is the credibility of the Filipino Times Awards na lahat ng mga nare-recognize doon ay na-background check, na-check po ng maayos with even the organization they are part na okay po ang personality or overall personality or character nung winner. Now, how will it work? So, kilala naman po natin ito ang mga previous winners ng ating The Filipino Times Award. Marami siguro may kilala dito kay Vic Abejero. Tama ba? Parang ito yata ang susunod na mayor. Diba? Si Vic, maraming kakilala yan si Vic dito. Sino pa? Ay, ito, yung naka-pink na, meron bang point? Ito. Kilala niyo ba yan? Yan ang mamayang speaker natin, si Dr. Mary Jane Alvero Almadi. So, isa siya sa mamayang mag-inspire sa atin na mag-share ng kanyang experience being an engineer here in the Middle East. So, hopefully, if pumayag siya, hindi ko pa nasabihan, pero baka isa siya sa mga judges din natin dito. Diba? In-spot ko na siya mamaya. So, natin, we want is to make sure that we recognize everyone as fairly as possible and as objective as possible. Alright? Now, kasi nga, sa experience namin in the Filipino Times Awards, engineers and architects ang parating may pinakamaraming nomination, but we only shortlist 3. So parate, what we want is to make sure na ma-highlight pa natin ang kagalingan ng mga Pilipino. Diba? So that's why we're doing that. Now, ayan, nakita niyo si Miss Mary Jane. Diba? Kumikita lang siya dati ng 1,000. Ngayon, parang isang kain na lang yata ni Miss Mary Jane ng 1,000. Di natin alam. Yan ang galing ng mga Pilipino dito, diba? And I'm pretty sure it's not far from you that you've heard your friends earning a lot because they're really doing really good job, diba? As an engineer and architect. Now, again, kami po ay ang magiging organizer ng itong power listing na ito o watch list namin kung tawagin. The Filipino Times has been in the industry for 9 years now. Magti-10 years na po kami next year. So this is something that we want to be part of our milestone for our first decade in the industry. Now, our newspaper is still printing. We're still printing newspaper, about 60,000 copies every week. We have all around the UAE. Our visitors monthly. So pag you're one of the list or mapasama sa listing, may isa kayo sa mga isa kayo sa mababasa ng milyong-milyong readers namin worldwide, diba? And I've also been partnered with a lot of organizations. And also for this one, we really want to partner with credible organizations as well in the Philippines para naman maging proud kayo lalo if mapasama kayo sa listing na yun. Now, the Filipino Times, again, ayun naman. Ayan. So, paano po ba mag-qualify? Alright. Kailangan po ay isa kang architect at engineer, of course, na nakatira at practicing their profession here in the UAE. Alright. So, again po, paano po? Hindi pwedeng graduate ka lang tapos nag-iba ka ng landas. Hindi ka practicing. Dapat po ikaw ay currently practicing your profession. Next, ikaw po ay dapat ay board passer sa Philippines. So, dapat meron kang valid na PRC. Yan, baka mali na naman yung sabihin ko. PRC, tama, di ba? PRC license. Na ID, may ID naman na binibigay, di ba? Tama po? Ayan. So, yun yung first two qualifier natin. Very basic. Pag wala ka dun sa dalawa, out ka na kagad. Alright? Next. Pagdating po naman dun sa assessment, say, meron ka na dun sa dalawa, pasado ka. You're currently practicing. You have a valid license. Pagkapasa po ng inyong papers, magsasubmit po kayo ng mga necessary requirements. Usually those are anything related to how you're gonna prove that you are the best of your industry or your profession. And then the panel of judges will review your credentials. Usually, pina-format na namin siya. May form na kami ibibigay sa inyo, isa-summarize nyo lang doon. Kasi, nakita ko yung mga iba dito, parang medyo seasoned na, di ba? Mahirapan naman yung judge natin kung 25 pages ang ibigay nyo. Di ba? So, isa-summarize din natin yan. But don't worry, i-guide din namin kayo on how you're gonna present yourselves. Para pag kinompare din natin kayo, magiging apple-to-apple comparison, di ba? It's always hard to compare our apple to orange. You won't be able to do that. So we'll try to segmentize and identify yung how we're going to deliberate on your profile. Okay po ba yun? Siyempre, mga architects and engineers, it's all about quality, consistency and standards. So we'll try to follow that as well. Di ba? What else? Then we'll do the shortlisting and to finalize the list. Yes, the reason why we call it Middle East, because even for the Filipino Times Awards, we've been receiving entries even outside UAE. So for this one, we will accept, but of course our priority, or not priority, but of course we're pretty sure that majority of the people who will be magsasubmit, since kayo here based in the UAE yung mga kausap namin. But since again, we have readership all around the world, or especially in the GCC, we're expecting, entries as well coming outside the UAE, but in the region. Now, then yung watch list po will be published in the Filipino Times newspaper, and hopefully there'll be a culminating event to recognize the exemplary engineers and architects. Hopefully, we'll be able to gather and give you the recognition in an event kung saan tayo ay magsasaya, magsaselebrate, we're gonna rejoice the success of every Filipinos here in the UAE. Excited po ba tayo? Excited? Happy? Parang tahimik. Baka nagbubukas na kayo ng CV, kaya tahimik. Nag-update na ba ng credentials? Nag-edit na kagad? But I really hope that you're very excited for this, because we're very excited. We are very passionate on recognizing excellence of Filipinos. We're the promoter of that. If you read our paper, our online version, you'd see that we've featured a lot of excellent Filipinos, yung mga, even nga yung mga Pinoy na gumawa ng mabuti sa kapwa, di ba? We always try to uplift the image of Filipinos here in the UAE. Yun. So, usual nomination process, magsasubmit po ng national ID of the current because we want to make sure that everyone po ay we're very law-abiding. Diba? So, submit lang po ng ID, passport, visa copy, yung copy ng PRC license, photo to be used for the newspaper. Siyempre, pag nanalo ka, pagkasama ka dyan, ma-feature ka, Ayaw naman namin na kami ang pipili ng picture mo. Ikaw na magbigay ng tingin mong doon ka pinakagwapo. Doon ka pinakamagandang picture. Diba? Para yun ang gagamitin natin. Second, kailangan din po namin ng letter of recommendation from your organization. So that we'll be able to do the background check as well. Alright? And of course, for those who doesn't have an organization, since kakilala na, also help out yung iba na to reach yung mga organization para maging part din siya ng organizations na kausap namin. Alright? Now, ito yung overview schedule that we're looking at by November, which is today, that we've announced it already. And then, by end of November, hopefully, if ma-finalize namin siya, ang target namin is that by end of November, mag-announce na rin kami ng submission deadline. We will be announcing by next week kung kailan siya fully opened. Maliit lang naman yung window, but if we need to adjust the last day of submission to December, if we feel that we need more entries na mapasama, gagawin po namin siya. If you've noticed po, our logo says top 100 watch list because that's the limit na tinitignan namin. But also, since we want quality, ito ang standard na sinet ng judges. Hindi po 100 ang nakapasok, maaari pong ganun. Maaaring mas mababa. Diba? So, we don't want na sino-sino na lang din. Diba? Because we want the best of the best. Alright? So, clear po ha? So, again, the date might change here, but this is the timeline that we're looking at. Alright? Yun po ang aking maiksing presentation. May question po ba? For now? Comment? Yes, sir. From which organization po?
I'm Arnold.
Yes, meron po. I can hear
Yes,
you.
I'm Arnold po from UAP.
UAP.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi chapter. Yes po. My question is yung the Filipino Times 100 list
Opo.
for architects, engineer.
Opo.
So both?
Both po. So meron po kaming, so basically what we're gonna do is that there would be like a ratio and proportion on the scale of entries. Tapos doon din po namin ibabasa kung ilan yung makakapasok on each of the organization, depende on the number of entries. So we want to make sure that there's an equal opportunity for each of the field. Kasi syempre even din sa engineers, ang daming members ng PSME, 'di ba? Para naman po yung ibang field of expertise ng engineer, 'di ba? So i-ratio and proportion naman po siya. Yes po. Any other question? We're good? Okay po. Alright. If okay naman lahat, pero medyo tahimik, nakakakaba talaga parati pag mga engineers and architects yung kausap ko.
I think,
Parang
Vince, nag-isip na sila kung ano yung
seryoso
entries.
Kung anong entry, kung sino ang ina-nominate, at sino ang ipapasang profile, kung sino. Because for me, it's something to be really proud of if one of our members will be part of it or our organization will be able to submit the most number of qualifiers, di ba?
That's
Tama
right.
po ba? Because it also reflects on our, di ba, parang general judgment, di ba? Parang or general assessment ng mga tao na, ay, mas maraming mga magagaling or nag-excel pala na mga engineers on this field or architects on this field. But of course, it's not gonna be the end judgment naman for everyone. Again, this is a watch list. The goal of this is to recognize the most number of Filipinos. So please, wag naman pong, again, ma-dishearten. It doesn't mean if hindi nakasama ay hindi kayo magaling. Every one of us, we consider ourselves magaling. Kaya nga kayo nandito because you believe in yourself that you are good at what you do. Diba? You're great. Diba? You're great engineers and you're great architects. Now, yes, Rain.
All right. So I'm sure, Vince, I'm sure they're very excited. They're much excited. Wag na nga very. If you have listened, Rico.
Nakakaba talaga ako pag engineers and architects. Parang seryosong crowd parate. And that reflects how serious they are when it comes to their career. But with this, again, for our next session, which we're gonna introduce,
Yes.
please watch our next session because, again, makaka-relate kayo because one of them is an engineer.
But of course, we are inviting everyone as well to explore to visit the booths of our sponsors and exhibitors. So we're here until 9 p.m. Those who are watching live on our Facebook and YouTube channel, we will be here until 9 p.m. here at Crowne Plaza, Sheikh Zayed. And before we go to our next Before we go to our next session, we would like to thank our sponsors. We have our gold sponsor, RLC Residences, our silver sponsors, Greenfield Development Corporation, Ayala Land, Double Dragon Corporation, and Federal Land. Our participating exhibitors, Santa Lucia, Houseland, DMCI Homes, BPI, Remata, and Piso Pal. Of course, our official airline partner, Philippine Airlines, and our official media partner, the Filipino Times. Okay, so I think we'll go on to the next session. But before that, we're also inviting everyone to visit the booth of New Perspective Marketing International to get to know more about the newest value for money real estate marketplace, remata.com.ph, and learn about the latest mobile app, Piso Pal, a personal savings and investment app specifically made for beginners in investment. And also, we have I Love Unlimited, I Love the Filipino Times car stickers that you may avail later on. All right, so it really feels nice to be recognized, especially when we devote our all to our craft. For our next educational talk, we will be learning the secret to the top. This afternoon, we will be learning key takeaways from Filipino leaders, tales of success in the UAE. Their individual stories will not only give us tips, but also inspire us to unleash our potential and attain our Executive Business Director of PhD, Roxanne Negrillo, and CEO of Prime Group, Dr. Mary Jane Alvero, and Pen Policarpio, marketing expert from a multinational consumer healthcare company. Moderated by founder and chief executive officer of New Perspective Media Group and editor-in-chief of the Filipino Times.
Just a moment. Para po ma-sure po natin na naka-FB Live po tayo at nakikita po tayo. Maybe. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to Philippine Property Investment Exhibition. It's our 8th year. Siguro kung walang pandemic, 10th year na. So thank you so much for coming over, and we're very much happy to let you know that we are generously attended as well by our best performing executives in not only in the UAE, not only in the region, but in the world. So we're very happy to be joined in by our speakers today. So allow me to introduce to you, I think I will leave the script here and introduce to you how I know these powerful, powerful people. Okay, the one on my left side is the first Asian, first Filipina, first female to actually hold the chief role, zone head of Turkey, Middle East, and Pakistan of a French multinational conglomerate in healthcare, Miss Pen Policarpio. This is the first time actually ever that I've actually encountered a Filipina who has actually this kind of role.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody. Magandang hapon tanghali sa inyong lahat. Thank you, Karen, for this opportunity. Really nice to be here with all these powerful ladies.
Thank you so much, Pen. And we are seen in 236 countries according to Google Analytics. Through the Filipino Times and Philippine Property Investment Exhibition live. Hello dyan sa mga nanonood sa atin. So, always remember, we always have our audience na nakikinig sa ating topics for today. Seated beside Pen is another influential and a very inspiring Filipina. I've known her more than a decade ago. She has handled communications affairs for more than 5 top luxury brands of international hotels. Currently, she heads the PR and Communications Department of Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone, if I said it right, Raquez.
Yes.
And again, we have another wonderful person today with us,
Cleo Eliazar.
Thank you so much, Karen. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
The third person is a mainstay of the Philippine Property Investment Exhibition and the Filipino Times because she's also one of our judges for the Filipino Times Awards, where we invite people to submit entries and flourish by understanding where they're good at and being placed in front of the judges to be screened. Grabe pong hirap noon. And so she is the first Filipina to be awarded at the Emirates Business Women Awards. That was decades ago. Ganun po katagal na ang kanyang very high position here in the UAE. Very pleased to have Miss Mary Jane Alvero, CEO of Prime Group.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming and joining us today. You will be hearing a lot of inspiring stories from the powerful women here with me.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. Meron pa po tayong isang parating. But in the meantime, we'll now start the question and answer asked by me. Tapos we will have the audience to ask the questions as well. I am your host, Dr. Karen Remo. I am the CEO and founder of New Perspective Media Group, the publisher of the Filipino Times, and the organizer of the Philippine Property Investment Exhibition. And we also handle thousands of brands representing companies, including some of their companies. So let's begin the grilling. So, Pen, I know that the position that you're having right now is so hard to get. I don't know if it even existed in the minds of people na pwede siyang i-achieve. Paano mo, did you ever think about it? Paano nangyari? And what is your story? Can you walk us through?
My story is, so I am with this consumer healthcare company. So primarily yung produkto namin. I've been with this company for over 23 years. So initially 10 years of that po is in the Philippines. And then the past 12 years, my family and I went out of Philippines. So we've lived and stayed in same company, Singapore, Paris, Vietnam, and then here, right? So each journey, iba yung challenges, iba yung pinagdadaanan. But you're correct, no? So example here, being based here for about a year now, as mentioned, I manage Turkey, Middle East, Pakistan. Meron akong joke sa mga friends ko po na any country na ayaw mong puntahan dahil natatakot ka kung buhay ka o hindi, ito yon. Di ba? Iraq, Iran, di ba? Pakistan. Be the first, right? In terms of representation, be the first woman, be the first Filipina, be the first Asian to have managed this position. Because I believe that I think as women and also as Asians, I don't think that we can't do it. I think we just probably need to raise our hand more, right? And it's paying out, right, in terms of my journey here so far.
Raise our hand more. But Pen, that was very interesting. Kasi kailangan talaga i-raise ang hands. Sheryl Sandberg, I think you've read this story. It's a lean-in. So of course, as the COO, former COO of Facebook, and of course, head of Google at some point. So she actually advocates women empowerment. So ngayon sabi niya, okay, so let's do this, let's do that, and she was doing the show. However, afterwards, after the show, after the conference, somebody approached her and said, you are actually preaching women empowerment. Sabi niya. However, you did not call me. So this woman was actually saying na, hindi mo naman ako napapansin. Sabi niya, so bakit? Apparently, the men just keep on raising their hands. You know, sorry. The woman, to be noticed, she had to keep on raising her hand. Pero ang laging nakikita is mga lalaki immediately. So even the person who advocates women empowerment, meron na siyang preconceived idea, or at least in your brain, na parang lalaki ka agad ang nakikita for that.
I have something to complement this, Karen. There was a McKinsey study, so across 100 companies. So the question was, what makes women and men different in terms of landing on high top positions? Ano yung meron whoever, right, na naglaland sa kanila doon? And the research was across 100 companies, and the main result was it's primarily the same. So men and women are equal in terms of whatever characteristic or aspirational, grit, and all that. There were only two qualities that stood out. So the two qualities was humility and grit, right? So, and in terms of these ones, I think the women fared lower. Meaning, kasi nga yung humility natin, di ba? I mean, pag po sa lalaki, pag sa company namin at least, if you tell a guy na, I'm promoting you, you're moving to Morocco tomorrow, the guy would say, okay, fantastic, right? Mag-impake na yan, aalis na. If you tell a woman, you're promoted, I'm going to bring you to Morocco tomorrow, the woman would then say, just a moment, can I just discuss this with XYZ? Women always feels we're not ready, we're not worthy. Yung imposter syndrome, di ba? So I think, true to what you're saying in terms of this lean-in, this humility perspective, it is our superpower, but sometimes in terms of career aspiration, because we don't raise our hands so much or as often as we should, actually, I don't know, I don't think it's luck, but when I was in the Philippines, I just gave birth. So out of my maternity leave ako, di ba? And then yung boss namin for the region came. So over dinner, usually you have your company dinner, di ba? Napaupo ako sa tabi niya. And then I told him, by the way, I heard that you are, which is true, you're building this regional hub based in Singapore. But if you are interested, I mean, you can get me for a role. And then this guy was a French, because I work in a French company, so this regional head of ours who's French looked at me, and then he said, really? I mean, I didn't consider you because you just gave birth and you have a husband who's working in the Philippines. I mean, a lot of things is very wrong on those words, right? Because years in hindsight, like now, I was wondering, would he have said that if I were a man who was undergoing paternity leave? Like, he wouldn't even consider me because I have a wife who's working and we just have a baby. I just feel like these are all the inequality. Of course, now it's a lot better, right? But you see, had I not raised my hand, I wouldn't have been considered for the post because he just assumed that I just gave birth and I'm not ready for the next role.
That's very interesting. It's the assumption, it's the preconceived idea na ganun pala. If you're a woman, you are kind of second best or parang option B. And always, you are okay to be disregarded anyway kasi you're going for maternity. Parang you can give way. So that's very interesting. But before I ask more questions, of course, we're happy to have our fourth speaker for today, Ms. Roxanne Magbanwa, the Business Unit Head of PhD. Hi, Roxy. Thanks. Okay, so we were talking about their stories and what we can learn from them. So in the case of Pen, raise your hand more. Hindi enough na mag-raise ka ng isang beses, maybe hindi enough na second time, third time, until you are heard, you keep on raising your hand, until your voice is heard. Cleo, what's your story?
I've been in the country for a long time. So basically, I started in Alain. I think at that time, dadalawa pa lang po ang hotel doon. Dubai is not like this. Dubai was still an empty quarter. Naglalaro kami dyan sa Jumeirah Beach. It's very empty. So, matagal na po ako dito. I started in Hilton actually, I came from the Philippines. I'm supposed to be working in the reception, but I ended up working in a telephone operator, which is like, for me, was like, answering phone and, but sabi ko, sige, tagaan natin. And then, somebody realized, one of the Filipinos actually, yan yung kagandahan dito sa atin, lalo na pag nasa ibang bansa tayo. I think yung community ng mga Filipinos, and then yung helping hand. So she saw my potential, And she said, You're wasted in the telephone operator. Ano. Sabi niya, I'm leaving. Why don't you move to my position? And she was basically assisting the food and beverage team in the Hilton. Sabi ko, yung time kong noon, ang computer hindi pa masyadong okay. I didn't know anything about computers. Sabi ko, hindi ako pa pwede dyan. I don't know how. Sabi niya, you can learn it. And this has been basically my journey. I've been assigned in different positions, which is not really my core, but I learned by myself, because it's, for me, minsan na-assign ka ng mga, ang iba, di ba sinasabi nila, but I'm not responsible for that. That's not for me. Ang sa akin naman, okay, it's not for me, but I can learn. And basically, I've developed myself through that. I just basically, and in the topic, in addition to what Pen said, I really agree about humility, but I think we can look at it as when we were growing up in the Philippines, men are the kind of like, in my family anyway, and I'm sure in a lot of families, sa atin lahat pag lalaki, sila ang boss. We serve them. So we become very kind of like second best again. Sa family ko, ang mama ko is like, no, you have to prepare the clothes, you have to cook for them, wash their clothes, then ganon. Kahit pa meron kayong katulong, whatever, it's lalaki lahat. So that's, again, I think one of the reasons why we look ourselves as second best, because of that growing up from our families. Then the other thing is, I was working in the Ritz-Carlton at that time, and one of the pag nag-apply kayo, one of the interviews is basically they ask you questions. There's like 50 questions about yourself. It's personality test basically, and then they were saying like, Asians, a lot of Asians fare really not low, but below the average on these questions, because they always think, like if someone asks you, are you honest from 1 to 10? Other Europeans or Americans would always say 10. But with us, Asians, because we always think like, no, you can't really be honest 100%. So we would say 8 or 9. So that's one as well. We kind of like, because we're Asians, we're below other nationalities, because we have a lot of Asians. I mean, you look at, sometimes when I read the news, especially in the Philippines, yung mga nananalo natin sa sports, in science, in mathematics, we have a lot to be proud of, and we should really, really push for that, and not only for ourselves and for everybody. We should shout out more about it. So not just looking at, just because we're Asian, we should be, below than other nationalities and everybody. We have very much, so many things to be proud of.
Thank you for that, Cleo. What I'm getting here are actually 2 points. Okay. The first one is that in our family, in an Asian culture, women, and this is not something against men, but women are trained to think that they have to do more, they have to take on more responsibilities for lesser reward. So basically, in the household, explain natin to. And what is what we're showing here sa Philippine Property Investment Exhibition. When we were analyzing the psyche of a Filipino or Asian, ganito. Si ate, naglilinis ng bahay, nagpa-floor wax, nagbubunot, nag-aayos. Si bunso, si lalaki, dumating nagba-basketball. Itinapon ang medyas, pinabayaan doon at sabi, oy ate, iligpit mo siya kasi ikaw ang ate, kasi ikaw ang babae, ikaw ang maglilinis. Hindi lang sa magkakabata ka pa lang, nakikita mo na si babae kailangan maraming gagawin. Si lalaki kahit naglakwat siya, kahit umuwing gabi na nagbibilliards, okay lang. Tapos when you become married, si lalaki, okay lang nanonood ng TV, si asawa naglalaba, nagpa-plan siya, nag-aalaga ng anak, nagpe-prepare ng breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's okay lang. Pero pag si lalaki, eto na, naglaba, ang galing naman niya, ang bait naman niya. Uy, pagka sumundo ng anak, he's a sweet dad. But the mom does it all the time. It's taken for granted. So it's the Asian culture na parang pinakita sa'yo and all that. And then secondly is the underestimation. Bakit nga naman tayo sa Asian culture, we underestimate ourselves. We cannot grade ourselves 10. Maganda ka ba? 5. Pero in fairness we had this survey. Tinanong namin ng mga babaes, because we had this survey with many companies. When a woman is asked, how do you see yourself? How beautiful or sexy are you? From 1 to 10. Ang sagot ng babae, 6. 5 to 6. Tinanong namin ang lalaki, how do you feel how good-looking you are? Macho and good-looking. Alam mo ang sagot? 9. Oh my God. So, you know, and to be honest, at that
kami yung tinanong nila. Kung kami yung tinanong nila, ay, 10 kami. Excuse me.
Oh, di ba?
Yeah, actually, Karen, I want to add to that. I think women tend to have what we call, an imposter syndrome, because we feel like we put ourselves in such a high standard that we feel that nothing is enough, right? And we tend to downplay our accomplishments because we put ourselves into that high standard, and you feel like, okay, I have to work harder, I have to be 100% a mom and 100% a career woman. So we tend to, we have a tendency to get burned out because we're trying to do more. So, but it's not as if it's, there's something wrong with it, but I feel like we need to also be compassionate about ourselves. We need to have that self-care. We also need to look after ourselves so that we can look after our loved ones. We can function properly at work. So, and I think there's also this double lens on our domesticated. So that's the kind of like the very traditional thinking about women. But honestly, I'm an advocate of gender neutral. So I feel like there's also a lot of husbands there that are also really good at at home, and there's also a lot of women that are also both. They can do both. Like Mary Jane can cook really well and is a CEO, right? So to speak up, because if you expect someone to speak up for you, you have to do it for yourself.
I love that word, gender neutral. According to many studies, if we want to advocate women to be career women and leave being housewife position, we also have to encourage men being able to be someone who is full-time. How would you call it if a man is staying in the house? Okay. Oh, it's
Trailing spouse.
Sorry?
Trailing spouse.
Training spouse.
Trailing spouse.
Yes. Okay. So we should encourage both. Kasi nga, if we want more people to more women to be there, we also need to have more women naman. If we want more women to be in the career, we have to allow men to also have a career at home. Diba? Of course, Roxanne could very much do that kasi recently, valedictorian with the MBA. Congratulations for that.
Congrats.
Thanks. Okay, now I'd like to go back to the imposter syndrome. Nabanggit twice with two separate speakers natin. Jane, you are heading a major company in geosciences, in certifications. It's a man's world out there. Did you ever feel that you had this imposter syndrome when you were starting out and even now?
Okay, first of all, i-praise ko lang ng konti si Muhammad. Muhammad is cooking. He's an Arab, but he cooks for us. Yeah, and especially when I'm traveling, he takes care of Noor and cooking for the children. Okay, so for me, kasi ang nangyari is, the same, my previous boss before also, he was thinking that, yung mga Filipino having a lot of problems. But because I have a chairman or the owner of the company who really believes in my capacity, and he has empowered me all through the years up to this day that they are already 4 owners in the company, but still he's always standing by my side.
Wait, Jane, hang on. I would like to emphasize that. So you are hired by the owner.
The owner.
Yes. And then this person who was telling you to turning on the lights and the switch. Is he higher than you or lower
Yes,
at the time?
he was the general manager.
Okay, so he was a general manager.
Yes.
You're an engineer, and he
Yes.
wants you to turn off the lights for him, serve him lunch. You
Yes.
as an engineer. Do we have engineers here? Oh, papayag ba kayo? No. Oh,
Because that time, Miss Karen, Dubai was like 1992, you know. Walang buildings, all desert. We had to wait for buses para lang makagala, okay? Every 30 minutes, if you miss it, then you cannot go out at all anymore. So, and then hindi niyo makikita yung mga women sa labas. They don't have accommodation outside. They stay in the labor accommodation. Okay? You only see women sa, not even in the hospital kasi other nationalities na walang Filipino woman. But you can see them in duty free, pa konti-konti. Then, kailan lang nagdatingan yung mga female technical na, and also, I think maybe 10 years, 15 years ago na nag-come up na yung mga C-level na women, which is, we are really proud of that na marami na ngayon, even not only in the C-level, mga entrepreneurs din, mga investors, and you can see here the powerful women around me, Miss Karen, she has her own company, Miss Roxy just opened her company recently, and maybe Miss Pen and Miss L. And, you know, yung ganin yung woman, pag binigyan mo siya ng place, pag ni-recognize mo siya, in-appreciate mo siya, the more na magtataas siya, the more siyang mag-grow. And the more siyang mag-aspire na ipoprove niya yung sarili niya that she really can. And mostly, Bren, sa mga women leaders, perfectionists, ayaw nilang magkamali. Pag nagkakamali sila, nagpi-fail, you know, like me, I just cry, and then I take the strength from that emotion, then bawi uli. Like, I tend to forget everything, then umpisa uli. Pero yung na-experience ko, yun yung ginagamit kong strength para mag-move forward uli. So, yun.
that's very nice. Sige, Rox, I'm going to ask you the same question about what's your story and to help us inspire our viewers and our on-ground visitors here. Paki-follow na lang.
Sure. I just want to add on to what Mary Jane mentioned, that as women leaders, sometimes when we fail or there's a setback, we tend to cry. And I just want to clarify that crying doesn't mean you're weak. Because we're women, we are emotional. So don't be apologetic for being emotional. I remember there was this finance director, and when you were making your point, you were passionate as men. That's why through the years, because I've been working in an international environment, I stopped thinking of gender. Like, really, it doesn't matter if you're men or women, for as long as you have the right skill set and you can contribute, that's important. So you're talking about my story, Dr. Karen. So mine is more of how to navigate the corporate bias, because as a woman and as an Asian, right? So just like what Dr. Mary Jane mentioned, that when we were here, I've been here in Dubai for 15 years, not as advanced, not as modern as what we have right now. So I remember when I was very good meeting, it was a global meeting, and then I think he didn't mean it that way, but it came out really bad. And he congratulated me after, and he said, you know, Roxy, I'm very impressed about you. For a woman and a mom and a Filipina, you're so good. So I felt like I was taken aback, and I was trying to process it, you know. And then it happened again in one occasion. I was in a meeting, and then the receptionist, who's non-Filipino, said, by the way, Miss Roxanne, I should congratulate you, because for a Filipina, you have a very good title. So I was like, okay, you know. So I wrote an empowerment story in a chapter in a book called Disrupt, and it's available in Muhammad bin Rashid Library. And I said there that I call it complisalt, so it's half compliment and half insult. So you really have to decide which side you take, right? But because you look at the person, is this person really trying to humiliate me, or is it really just coming out bad? But she didn't mean it, right? So I guess we just really have to take that. So whenever those situations happen, I always activate my mantra, which is life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. So I take that 90% right, and you kind of like stay classy, stay professional, and just don't pick up a fight because it's not worth it.
Wow, that's very powerful, no? So you pick up the fight. Sometimes you win the battle, but you lose the war. So you look at the bigger picture. It's okay to lose this battle as long as I win the war. I'd like to ask Spen. Okay, let's go gender neutral tayo. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be successful in good that we're good at, in a place where we're happy people. Okay? So gender, wala tayong pakialam, babae man, lalaki, LGBTQ, everybody wants to have that satisfaction of achieving. Okay? Could you help our viewers, our visitors here, ano ba yung mga step-by-step structure that they can learn from your experiences, maybe 1 or 2 tips on how we can achieve. But before that, pinaplug po namin, please, we're live here at Sheikh Zayed Road in Crowne Plaza, Philippine Property Investment Exhibition. Hanggang 9 o'clock po tayo ngayong gabi, so please join us over here. Yung pong mga nasa UAE, yung pong mga nasa ibang bansa, medyo late na. Pero yung mga taga Dubai, you are very much welcome here. Walk in lang po. Yes, Pen.
Tips, all right. So I think I have probably 3. The first one is, I think, whatever it is that you do, career-wise or anything in life, purpose is very important, right? Why are you doing it, right? Because I think if you are, kung nagtatrabaho ka and it's just to put money on the table, you can do that. But sustainability-wise, kailangan siguro mas purposeful. So example, for me personally, I would like to make a difference in people's lives, no matter how small. So whether it is in my career, helping somebody get promoted, or even personally, right, helping my kids, my family, I think purpose is the one that drives you. Yung pagising mo sa umaga, you do it all over again and you're happy about it. Because doing something all over again is okay, but doing something all over again happily is something purposeful for me, right? The second one is support system, and I mean this professionally and personally. For women, you have heard a lot of stories. I mean, we try to be the best at everything that we can, right? Whether at home, at work, and then as mentioned, at times we need to also take a look at self-care, right? Support system to me is professionally, once you have a company or once you're managing, you know, a business, hire the best. Competency, the higher, for me when I hire for people, I hire those that are better than me. Because I think that the highly competent organization, then I can delegate, then I can empower, then I can step back and have some time to strategize or to just have some mental wellness for myself. But also support personally. You can't do everything by yourself. You have to admit this. You just really need to focus and prioritize. How do you do that? You need your support system. I'm very lucky that I have a very supportive spouse. I have a very supportive family. I mean, in everything that we do, the optimism, because things are not going to get any.
Because there's this management principle, the Peter principle, that says everybody will rise to a level of incompetence. Talagang may isang level na hindi ka na kayang gumaling. Hindi talaga artists, kahit mag-design ka pa ng 1,000 hours, hindi ka nagagaling sa pag-design mo. Matatagalan ka na for that. There's a story sa a very known hotel chain here. Okay, I'll mention Jumeirah. So, at the time, sa World Government Summit, they were saying that they have a very nice butler na love siya. Pero hindi niya talaga kaya na sa pinromote siya, sa senior butler. After that, ano pang, to a certain level of incompetence na hindi mo na kaya. And that is why when you find somebody else to do it for you, di ba? So medyo talagang we need support system, personal and professional life, sa mga ating mga kababayan dyan. Support system po, makikita niyo po ito kahit sa mga organizations na meron tayo ngayon. Speakers like this that we have. And of course, ang ating mga sponsors and exhibitors who can give you the support system intellectuals and knowledge-wise na hindi natin kaya. Like, the experts are giving us advice in our professional life.
Yeah, just to finish on that point, Karen, when I say also hire the best, because my mantra is, I will hire the best because I will find my succession plan. Sino yung kung aalis ako, kung mapopromote na ako, sino yung papalit sa akin? Because the moment I find that person, I go ahead and raise my hand up again to my boss. I've done it. I have somebody who can replace me. Where do you place?
That's very, very nice. Thank you so much, Ben. Cleo, ano yung mga top tips? Gagawa na tayo ng book niyan. Abangan po natin. Top tips by PPIE 2022.
Actually, that's very true, and I support it as well. In just addition to about the hiring the best in Marriott, when I worked in Marriott, I think the first year of my time there is just about training, and their mantra as well is if you want to be promoted, you have to train your succession staff, because we will not promote you if you don't have somebody ready to take over your position. So that's very important as well, really. For me, I always subscribe to the 80-20 rule. 80% of the things that happens in our life, personally or professionally, we really we can't control it. We don't have the power, the energy to control it, and only 20% of it is the ones that we have control. So you have to really see, look at your life and see. Sometimes sa work, masyado tayong nag-waste ng energy na sabihin natin, no, but that can be changed, that can be, that. But we have to think, to change that, how many people do you need to approve it, to basically agree about your idea? If it's that difficult, that means you should focus on something else. That's what I do. Because really, that's a lot of waste of time sa'yo kung doon ka magpo-focus. So, find that 20% and just focus on that. That's one thing that I always advocate. And the other thing is hard work. Yes, we're women. We say, we're gender equal here, but at the end of the day, we still have that, we're still in that world where, as women, we still have to work harder than anybody else. But work harder, but smarter. Yeah, exactly. Work harder, but smarter. Not just work just for the sake of working. But, as Pen said, you have to have a goal. You have to have a purpose. So set that goal and work for that goal so that you have one line to see, to reach, basically. Not just like you're working hard just because you have no purpose or whatsoever. So, yes, work hard, but have a goal. The last thing is really, again, take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you only have one life. Kayo lang ang makakapag-ano sa sarili nyo na make sure that you're healthy, to make sure that, because health is very important. You have families. For me, I'm single, but I still have my sisters, my brothers, and, the entire family. So if something happens to me, kawawa naman sila. So you really have to take care of yourself. Make yourself number one. Yun yung ano ko.
Thank you so much, Cleo. This is an opportunity for us to take care of ourselves by being here, because it means we're listening to people, and this is actually brain food for all of us. So 3 things. Work harder, work smarter, take care of yourself. We're very lucky to have these women and these executives on board. See what they're saying, while as simple as it is, it's actually based on scientific evidences. It's actually a rule in management. Yung 20-80, yung 80-20, that is called a Pareto policy, Pareto principle. It says in there, ano po siya ni Vilfredo Pareto, Italian philosopher po siya, so scientist in the olden days, nasabi niya, the 80% of what's happening in your life is based on the 20% of the causes. So halimbawa, kailangan mong identify kung ano yung mga 20% na ginagawa mo na nagaging 80% ng buhay mo. Like for example, 80% ng life mo in the future will be in the next 10 years on how nice pag-invest dito sa Philippine Property and Investment Exhibition. Punta po kayo dito sa PPIE sa Sheikh Zayed Road, Crowne Plaza, wag po natin kalimutan, pag-uwi ng life, the 20% of the Pareto is here. Ayan, balik po tayo kay Dr. Mary Jane. Top tips.
Yes, Miss Karen, that's right. So for me, siguro ba, based on my experience, dapat siguro yung mga women laging maging role model, especially yung mga business leader. And then also, for me kasi I'm very much connected with my team, with my staff, with my friends, with my family. Also, yung sa mga anak ko, kahit na ang dami kong trabaho, but I always put them in the priority. Then third thing then is investment. So for me, I came to the United Arab Emirates in 1992. So I have invested in friendship, education, with the network, okay? And also with the properties. I have properties. Also, I am into gold trading as well. And also, I have Japan, India, and we have 3 branches in the Philippines. We have 2 laboratories and 1 office. Sa India naman, 1 laboratory and 3 offices. So, praise God, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mary Jane. Put your priorities and invest your time in those priorities. Whether it's property, whether it's friendship, it's relationship, training. That's very nice. We would like to hear very much from Roxy.
Thank you, Dr. Karen. So for me, it's 3 points. And the first point is an acronym called BCE, which is coming from Robin Sharma. So B stands for blame, E stands for blame, C complain, and E excuse. So in context, do not blame others, never complain, and avoid making excuses. So as a leader, and if you practice that, you become more accountable, you become more focused, and there's this responsibility, right? So that's first. And second is love what you do, because if you love what you do, you deliver great work, right? So you become passionate about it. So it shows on how you work and how you deal with people. And third is invest in your future. It can be 2 ways, tangible and intangible. So intangible is about learning, and it's about upskilling, getting that new knowledge, right? And the second one, of course, is tangible, which is invest in, properties. We're very lucky that New Perspective Media is really doing this regularly. So it helps us on our financial literacy. It helps us to have that credibility that you can have, something like this where it's a combination of all the reputable companies in the Philippines, and it's very important to have that for the future.
Oh, thank you so much. I think very good for me to remember will be the negatives. Kasi gusto ko siya.
Karen, can I just add on something? See, always remember this process, PDCA. I know everyone is aware of this. Plan, do, check, and act. That's a very useful tool for you to follow. So you plan your future, then how are you going to do it? Okay, and then you have to monitor and measure and how you control your life, and then the implementation.
Oh, di ba? Oh, sige. So ano raw ang B? Stop blaming. Okay, ano naman ang, kasi di ba, BCE, stop C. Complaining. And then letter E, stop M pala, making excuses, M-E. Excuses. Okay, ano naman daw yung BDCA? Ano yung P? Plan. Ano daw yung D? Do. Ano yung C? Check. Okay, ano yung A? O, di ba? Nakikinig ang ating audience. Very good. Meron tayong papremyo dyan. Dito po ulit sa PPIE, dito sa Sheikh Zayed Road, Crowne Plaza. Okay, last question. Mga powerful speakers, survey lang. How many of you have properties as investment? Ano, taas lang, kung yes or no lang. May investment na kayo?
Hindi matatanungin ko ilan.
Pero, gusto niyo bang itanong natin? O confidential daw, okay. But nonetheless, so you would see that successful people invest in tangibles. So real estate is one of them. So we're very, very happy that they gave the tangible presence of our great speakers for today. So again, we have Pen Policarpio, Cleo Alezar, Dr. Mary Jane Alvero, and Roxanne Magbanwa. At ako po ang inyong abang lingkod, Dr. Karen Rama. Thank you very much for tuning in our channel.
Thank you.
Ka-TFT, mahilig ka bang magkape? Alam bang kapag inipon mo ang gastos mo sa bawat cup ng kape sa loob ng isang buwan, pwede ka na makabili ng property? Hindi ako nagbibiro, natutunan ko yan sa PPIE. Sabi nila, for minsan, kasi nga naman, deserve. Pero ang konting pagtitiis, kapalit naman ay pagtupad sa pangarap mong matamis. Mas masarap nga namang magkape sa bahay na matatawag mong iyo. Kaya naman, magkita-kita tayo sa Philippine Property and Investments Exhibition na gaganapin sa November 5 and 6 sa Crowne Plaza, Dubai. Mag-register na sa www.ppie.ae. See you there!
Like to invite everyone
Okay lang naman
to
magkape
visit.
paminsan-minsan kasi nga naman, deserve. Pero ang konting pagtitiis, kapalit naman ay pagtupad sa pangarap mong matamis. Mas masarap nga namang magkape sa bahay na matatawag mong iyo. Kaya naman, magkita-kita tayo sa Philippine Property and Investments Exhibition na gaganapin sa November 5 and 6 sa Crowne Plaza, Dubai. Mag-register na sa www.ppie.ae. See you there!
Booth. All right, another one. What's your key takeaway?
The PDCA.
Right, okay, here's one for you, and here's another one for you. All right. So anyone else who would like to share their key takeaways from the discussion?
BDCA at saka raise your hands more.
Okay, wonderful. I hope you are, all of you guys are empowered. Anyone wants to share? I'm just giving this away.
No excuses and humility as well.
Great. No excuses and humility.
You can hire much more intellectual than you.
Yes, dahil ito ay magiging ano nyo po, training para dahil ikaw ay ma-promote. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else for a key takeaway? All right. So while we are waiting for the next panel, we would like to, of course, we would like, and federal land, and of course, our participating exhibitors, Santa Lucia, House Land Development Corporation, DMCI Homes, BPI, Remata, and Pisopal. We also have our official airline partner, Philippine Airlines, who will be giving away one round-trip ticket to the Philippines. All right, and also we have our official media partner, the Filipino Times. So, let me go on to our next our next speaker for today. Before that, we would like to invite everyone, to all our visitors who have yet to tour our exhibition hall. We have a lot of exhibitors right now, and we're here until 9 o'clock. And those who are tuning live on our Facebook account, we will wait for you here. We're here until 9 o'clock. So for now, we will take a 5-minute break, and then next on to our next session. Thank you very much, and see you after 5 minutes.
Sino-sino darating, baliwalain pangako, yaking dadalhin hanggang sa uli ay ikaw pa rin.